Check. Welcome to the SPS Podcast. You are now tapped in with the Raw Bunch. I'm your host and moderator, DJ Strata, and I'm here with the gang. What's up, gang? What's good with it? Everybody on mute. Everybody just responding. Hey. Now, what were y'all saying? What's up?
It's good for the moment. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, but for right now, I just want to say I love y'all in case this shit gets sticky. You know what I'm saying?
Let the record show. Let the record show. Everything I'm about to say, what I'm going to say, and what you think I might say, I mean it.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared now. This is
Oh, this y'all time to shine now, so it's y'all time to shine. We just got to take it like men. Pause.
Whoa. Hey, the boys telling the truth tonight. And just let y'all know, we're going to keep it all the way real. This is the accountability part. This would look like with fellas. You heard me. All right, so this is the thing. Last show, if y'all haven't been tapped in, part one of this, we actually did a Rubik's Cube for the ladies. And so we started off asking ladies questions about accountability. Somehow the dudes creeped into some of their answers. I let it rock because it was irritating CJ. And I thought it was funny. So I let Scam get that off. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, we get a pass or two because I think that the honesty they want is going to have to sometimes include them. You feel me? What's up, little one? We got the little mini raw bunch of the building, yo. We love the kids. You feel me? But we're gonna keep it all the way true tonight. Y'all ready?
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get this shit over with, man.
Straight to question one. All gas, no brakes, bro. Y'all see the topics. Follow along the side of the screen. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Fellas, let's get straight to it. Now, let's see. CJ, do you want me to get the ladies to give their what they think first and then for us to go? Or do you want us to give our answers first and let them react? This is on you. You gonna dictate how the rest of the show go. What we doing, bro?
That's crazy word. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't want to hear their opinions on what they think. I'd rather us just say it and then let them react to it.
That's real. Okay, let's do it. Somebody got some feedback. We'll figure it out halfway through. Somebody's giving me a little bit of feed. Everybody mute up if you ain't speaking, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Love. All right, yo. Question number one. Let's go. Here's the order. We're going to go Bino, Mel, CJ, and then me. So, Bino, question number one. Why is it so hard for men to take accountability? Go.
It's not hard for men to take accountability. It's hard for men to tell the truth. If it's hard for men to tell the accountability, it's because they still lying. Once they admit their truth, we be accountable. So I hope I'm answering the question the way they. I hope I'm answering it direct. I'm not trying to go around the question. Like I'm being dead ass. It's not hard for men to take accountability. It's hard for them to tell the truth. But once they tell the truth, we're very much accountable for it.
Okay. CJ. No. Mel. Why is it so hard for men to take accountability?
I honestly think they don't. I forgot what I'm about to say. I don't think it's hard actually.
Really?
Sometimes, because most of the time we gotta omit the truth to save face.
We gonna get to that. I want you to hold that thought because that's gonna be my end. And great point. I'm glad we get into that early because that's another point further down the road. Good shit, Mel. CJ, what you got? Why is it so hard for men to take accountability for stuff? On mute, brother.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Why it's so hard for men to take? All right, I'm gonna answer the question as the question is displayed.
Okay.
Why is it so hard for men to take accountability? Because even when the nigga take accountability, he's still wrong. So what's the point of even doing that shit? That's why. Okay. That nigga could tell you the utmost truth. All right, man, you right. I did it. Yo. Nigga, you lying, bitch. Like, what fucking did?
Yo, let me say this, yo. Long hair, don't care, CJ. When the motherfucking locks drop, this nigga's an issue, bro. I see you. Man. No do-rag. You heard me.
I was told you, I'm fresh out of work. I had to take that shit off. It was giving me a headache.
I love it. So why is it so hard for men to take accountability? I think that mirrors suck. That's why it's so hard to take accountability. I think that a lot of times things that happen outside of ourselves, shit don't go how we want it to go. So it'd be hard to take accountability because there's so many things we can't control. So we talk about relationships. What normally happen is the woman that when you're in a predicament with a woman, right? And you can't control how she responds, how she reacts. I think what normally happens is it makes it harder for him to take accountability because it's probably too far out of his control. But I think it all started in the mirror. So I think that if you got a man that has a problem with accountability, it's normally because the things that are distracting him is outside of himself. I think that it starts with self and it doesn't get any further than self. So if they have a problem with accountability, first the mirror is the problem. And because they ain't addressed the mirror, everything around them becomes a scapegoat for why they don't want to be accountable. Ladies, what y'all think about our answers? We telling the truth tonight? We on bullshit. What we doing? Round robin, it don't matter.
Yeah, no, y'all speaking facts. I like your answer though, Strada. I think you hit it on the head.
Okay. Anybody else? Ladies, what y'all got?
So why you say it depends on how the woman acts? Is it because y'all don't laugh so much and haven't taken accountability that you don't know how she's gonna act because you know she's gonna be pissed because y'all don't get to that point in life? Because you can't tell me you've been with a woman that act retarded from the gate.
Well, that's the thing, Kiki. Most women never start out acting a little slow. I think what happens is they reveal themselves slowly over time, and then over time you start to realize that. Mute up for me a little bit, Kiki. Now I'll get you to come off. I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you, love. So, what normally happens is over time, what normally happens is the more we start revealing the truth, the more volatile the reaction be, right? So the first time I'm giving you a truth for something uncomfortable you don't want to hear, it might be a little bit of a standoffish demeanor from your woman, right? So multiply that by times 8 or 9. So by the time 8 or 9 comes, and especially if you're a dude, you fucked up, it's almost like having to navigate taking responsibility while dealing with you getting over me being accountable sucks even more, because me saying, all right, you right, I fucked that up, right? For most women, that's not enough, because let's keep it real. I think a lot of women keep score. They keep emotional score. They keep they kind of keep a running list of things you fuck up on. And it's almost as if you all, there are times to where you all, without even knowing it, you create a laundry list of things that your man do that you don't like, and then it kind of explodes at the wrong times. So a lot of times, if we're looking outside of the man, right, this is, he ain't done the shadow work. Let's just put this on the table now. We're talking about two regular people in a relationship, right? So if he ain't done the shadow work and he's with a woman and this shit is happening, this is why you get that hiccup or that pause and him being accountable for the shit he did do wrong, because he know it's going to get clocked and brought up later. Does that make sense? You on mute, Bino.
Oh, I thought it was asking the ladies if it made sense.
You asking it doesn't make sense for the women?
Yeah, anybody. Anybody want to add to it? Y'all disagree with it? What we doing?
I'll add to it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think most of the time we gotta sugarcoat the truth.
Tell me more. What you mean by that, bro?
Cause we gotta protect their feelings.
In what way?
You can tell yours too. Like
But
Bino said, y'all are liars. And then
I didn't say we know. Brandon, don't start that shit.
I mean, that's what I heard. Okay.
That is funny. So, ladies, what do y'all think? I mean, I know y'all said y'all kind of thought that we were on par, but is there anything else y'all want to add about men taking accountability? What does that look like on y'all end?
I mean, like, okay, get back what Bino said, but seriously, why are people taking accountability after they don't lie and now the truth is out? Or then you said they take full accountability. Yeah, you ain't got no other choice because now the shit is out there. So just be accountable from the beginning. Why do all the lying and half truth shit? You know what I'm saying?
So all right, so let's slow down for me real quick. Just go ahead.
I'm about to say I believe with it. Oh no, I'm about to say I believe what Brittany's saying is true too. But then also I feel like an ego and a pride thing comes into it, because you have to actually hold yourself accountable when you're, coming clean or whatever. So I think it's ego and pride as well.
Okay. That makes sense. I can see that.
So, Britt, to your question, let's slow down. Like, so accountable is telling the truth, huh?
Yes, that's a part of it.
Okay, but it's a part of it, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So your question is, why do we lie before? Because what? Like, let's be real. What do men don't be accountable for real? Besides stepping out, besides talking or flirting or dealing with another woman. What can we seriously say right here on this panel right now that dudes don't be accountable for outside of that?
How many fucking kids they got or whatever. They might be lying about their jobs.
No. But that's not being accountable. That's just denying your kids.
Maybe like if y'all have like plans on bettering yourself as far like a business venture, and it doesn't go per se to like how he thought it was going to go, he don't hold himself accountable. So he's not going to tell you, or he's going to like pretend that it was successful and it wasn't. Like it could be different caveats.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things, but I'm also speaking on like a reality every day. And in everyday reality, majority of dudes are not starting up businesses or even saying they about to start up a business. So like I'm like speaking on every day. I mean, I'm asking because in my mind, I don't think men don't be accountable for much of nothing besides stepping out.
Well, it's big for us women. Shit. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just saying, so when you ask me the question of why lie, you know what I'm saying? I'm that's why I'm answering it based on what I think men are only not accountable for. I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying. So I'm responding to your question. That's why I'm asking y'all. Do y'all think it's anything seriously on that we deal with on a daily that men are not accountable for?
Maybe like how to run. I mean, I'm just throwing out stuff at this point, but like maybe like how to run the household or like different parenting techniques. I don't.
Nah, yeah, I'm hearing you, Saul. I'm hearing you, Saul.
So I see
That
like
I don't really see. I really like. Y'all know I be trying to be real about this shit. Real be honest. I really be trying to be like, you know what I'm saying. But I can't really think of nothing outside of that men going to be accountable for. Men,
off that damn bottom of that
that's a
screen.
lie.
Why you holding that one up there the longest? Get that lie out of there.
I was just saying. I think it got stuck. I don't know. Something going on with my comment, but I don't know. Let me figure this out. Stream y'all be tripping sometimes. Brittany, my bad.
but like if a man know he slipped up on some shit, or he know he had a wrong thought process, or he thought something was a fact, but it ended up not being. I think dudes be like, damn, that's my bad. I was wrong. I think dudes be like, damn, you was right, babe. I think dudes do that. So when y'all say why is it hard for men to take accountability, y'all got to tell me what men don't take accountability in before I
I
can really
don't.
follow this.
I feel like what you're saying is true though, but I feel like it's still also
Yeah,
like
Sway,
the
don't
other
come here with
minority,
that shit, Sway. My fault, Saul. Go ahead, Saul.
that like that still cannot hold yourself accountable because of the ego and the pride and just wanting to feel like they're right when they not.
I got a question for the ladies, real quick. What does accountability look like for y'all? When a man is accountable, give me like what does that look like in y'all mind in a relationship? What does a man looking accountable look like?
Well, I'll just add. I mean, to me, being accountable is being able to admit you're wrong. When shit ain't going right, we can actually have a conversation about certain things, and then when we have that conversation, we actually follow through with it, like whatever we agree upon. So that's me and him holding each other accountable for whatever situation may be.
Okay.
Right. So I'll add on to that for is actually like let it not have to be him doing something wrong. Just hold yourself accountable out the gate. So therefore, you got to come back up and clean up a lot or whatever. Or therefore, I'm confident that you're going to do what you need to do. And when it comes to stuff like that, it kind of opened up a side of vulnerability for what I'm seeing. And I guess the hard part in that is sometimes a man actually showing vulnerability in that process.
I think that's fair. I think that what we learn, honestly, very quickly is that life is set up so that it's very hard for most men to dodge accountability. Like, I think we got to start there. I think that men learn very early as children that with us being a little hyperactive as kids, you learn very quickly there are very sharp and direct consequences for us getting out of line. I think that because we learn that so early, I don't know whether it makes us resilient and how we then are able to own up to it. But I do think that accountability is something that is very tough for men to run from. So if you're talking about child support laws, divorce courts and settlements, like again, prison itself, like there isn't a lot of things. I mean, I'm not talking about tangible things. I'm not talking about the intangibles of character development. I'm talking about you do something, will you be held accountable? It's not a lot of things in life that men can do and then run from the accountability because either society, your old lady, the people around you, government, somebody's going to find a way to hold you accountable for it. So I think that, when thinking about the question, that's kind of the first thing that came to my mind. Y'all think I'm off?
I thought one more thing,
Uh-huh.
Strata. Dudes, niggas don't be accountable on why their last relationship didn't work though. Niggas will run from that. So I give the ladies something else since they couldn't give it to me. I help them out today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do be on bullshit. It's always somebody else's fault. And I ain't gonna lie. I think that when we're having this conversation, too, ladies, keep in mind we're talking about the baseline of men we know. Now, we could talk about the outliers all day. Everybody got a homeboy right now. If you ask him why he got fired, it's because the boss didn't like him. It's because the white man trying to hold him down. Everybody got that one friend that, bro, she was just getting on my nerves and, fuck 4-5 homegirls on. Like, we all got that one dude. Like, we got those minority of men that be on bullshit. So I wanted to frame this so that it doesn't seem like we're being disingenuous. Like, we're going to have the whole conversation today, right? So we got to speak about even the outliers because I do think it makes it fair for y'all to be like, okay, we're not dismissing y'all, but I think when we're talking about men in mass, we're talking about the 50 to 60K, never been to prison type guy. You feel me? Like that's the baseline of men we're talking about. We're not talking about the extreme outliers on the left and the right. Like I want to have the honest conversation while acknowledging both ends, so y'all don't feel like we tilting the scale on y'all. Sound fair?
Yeah.
About good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jayla, you kind of quiet. How was your day?
It was great.
What you get into today?
Work and more work. And a project for work. It was great.
The old woman way.
Hey man, she is the youngest old person I know. So what are your thoughts on men and accountability, Jalen? And then we'll go to Scam.
I think they're good at being accountable for their actions outside of a relationship.
Okay.
Bino already brought it up, so I didn't think I'd have to really talk. So
That makes sense.
cheating, being lustful after other women while in a relationship, that accountability isn't taken into account at all. It's actually told that we're doing something wrong if his eyes are wandering elsewhere. So I just don't understand how you could be accountable for everything else, but when it comes to being in a monogamous relationship with one woman, you just can't seem to be holding yourself accountable for your actions. I don't get it, but we can move past it. I mean, because being already acknowledged that it's a problem. So
That's fair. I like it. Scam, what you got, brother?
Accountable on the outside, not accountable on the inside. 2-3 questions. When something really happens, you'll see where that accountability really lies. And the top 2 things: number 1, relationships; number 2, parenting. Are they that accountable? The no's, no.
I said parenting.
Parenting, no, it's the kid's fault. It's society's fault. It's the gay mafia's fault. It's the white man's fault. Or somehow a 6-month-old sticking their finger in a plug hole is the kid's fault. I still don't get that.
I think you hit on the theme. I think the theme going throughout this entire show, Scam, is just that. Is that when we're talking about accountability in this entire show, there are men that are divided. Like there's a role, and then we kind of split a little bit. I think the outcomes can be similar, but step one is you got the guys that go to the left that looked in the mirror. Those are the guys that acknowledge that they have personal shit they're trying to get together, and they're still in the process. So even though they acknowledge that they got shit to do in the mirror, they're on the path to doing those things. Then you got other guys that just don't do that at all, right? Like they haven't looked in the mirror, don't want to see a mirror. And so, that's in my mind where this whole conversation is going to diverge a little bit. But I want to make sure we touch on all angles so that everybody can, say we're having this conversation in fairness and not in jest, right?
Can I ask a question before we move forward on accountable?
I'll throw diet and fitness in there too. Man or woman, ain't nobody accountable.
That part we all on bullshit. That's a fact. What you got, Bino?
Are we still on accountable before I ask the question?
Yeah, you good.
When do y'all think? I want the ladies to see first, and then I want us to answer if we can.
For sure.
Women, do you think men are ever accountable in their life? For one, let me ask that first. Like, do you think the ones that are not accountable, that normally are not accountable, do you think they end up becoming accountable later in life for whatever reason? Yes or no?
Hell no. They stay talking.
No.
So okay, because I was about to ask y'all, what do y'all, in y'all opinion, what do y'all think makes a man accountable? But if y'all think that men that are not accountable at one point in life are never accountable, then that's fine. Men,
I feel like they are accountable, but I feel like they pick and choose when to hold themselves accountable. So if it benefits them.
Okay. What y'all think, guys? Like, do y'all think men that's unaccountable ever, like, do we become accountable, or are we always accountable as beings? What do y'all think? And if y'all do think we end up becoming accountable in life, why does that happen? What happens to us that we like, you know what, type shit?
I think it normally takes a person that's unaware of violent outcome that's undesirable before they become accountable. So we have to, and I know it sounds weird, but I have to go to extreme to make this point, Bino. I think that when you start talking about prison, death, like dire consequences, I think it becomes so real, and somebody that wants to be in denial, the way you have no choice. Like it's
I agree.
almost like, you know what I mean? Consequences will put you in a corner where it's like, bro, it's nowhere to turn but in the mirror.
I
But
agree.
I think, you know what I mean?
But that might be a
That's
small
important,
percentage
right?
though, but not all of them are going to have that. So the ones that never had it, they're never going to be accountable.
Yeah, and we ain't even got to necessarily say jail or like death, but like I get what straight. It has to be like, I think it do have to be something extreme to happen, like for a dude to start being accountable in his actions. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that extreme may be for him. You feel what I'm saying? Like we, of course, as men, we gonna directly point to death in prison because we know that's extremes without a doubt. But I think other extremes do happen in people's life that's outside of getting locked up or somebody dying, where men eventually say they're gonna be accountable for their actions or the thing. You know what I'm saying? Or make their word, start making their word, they bond. That could be losing the love of their life. That could be losing a child. You know what I'm saying? That could be a lot of things. Because men do mature. I think for the most part, majority of us start off at the same place mentally. For the most part, some mature and some get left to be end up young fools being old fools. But I don't think women realize that we all grow. Like we all come from the same mindset. Would the fellas agree? For the most part,
Facts.
we all grow. Is no one little boy better than the next little boy when it comes to this. You feel what I'm saying? We all start from the same mental capacity for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
You feel what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
come with responsibility.
As a gender, we do. You know what I'm saying? We all start off as a gender, and I think some of us grow and some of us just don't.
Just getting fat count as growing.
What you say, Scam? I could hear you.
Just getting fat count as growing.
Yeah, growing out. Yeah. Horizontal is growth. It's just not
when y'all say criminals are accountable, I don't see a whole bunch of criminals turning themselves in.
No. Not on the sit where turning themselves in, where like extreme measures happen that they went through, where it makes them, you know. And of course, we know most of the time repeat offenders. That's why he said like minor. But we talking about like, we're really basing it off relationship, right, Strata? Like we really talking about accountable in relationship. Like something happens in that sense. That's extreme scan where they are more accountable in how they carry their relationships. What you think?
I'm missing part. I'm missing where you're going.
In
Like
self, or in like how the relationship is turning out. I don't know.
In relationships, the majority are not accountable. I will give grace and say there's a high population that are unaware. Is part of why they're not accountable. But then there's the aware and unaccountable.
I like it.
Like there are some men and women. He thinks it's supposed to be like A. She thinks it's supposed to be like B. He thinks he's correct. It's supposed to be like A. She's like, no, it's B. So in his mind, he's doing what he's supposed to do as A. Her mind, she's doing what he's supposed. So they're both gonna sit and say each other are not unaccountable, but they can't get on the same page.
That's fair.
So there is a population of that. Then there's dudes that's supposed to be on B, and they know it, and they just ain't gonna do it. So they do some A stuff and some C stuff, and then go start throwing stuff, just throwing anything out there.
True.
So grace to those who are just off, but there are some who are just doing what they want to do, and then pitching the bullshit.
That's fair.
And then getting on dust panels and getting trolled by me.
I like it. I think that Sway is definitely hitting on the themes of what you're speaking about: arrested development, cognitive dissonance. I think both of those things frame
Sway.
exactly what Scan was saying.
Right, I agree.
Absolutely. Let's get to the next part, because like I said, as men, we definitely gonna glide and slide. These ladies, I think we got them backpedaling right now, y'all. We'll slow it down.
That's a normal thing.
Catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like all this realness in one question is crazy.
This shit about to get dark. That question was light. That's just a warm up.
Yeah, we just get started. So
shit about to get dark, Mel. I hope you ready, man. You looking?
Yeah, bro.
No, I'm reading the question at the bottom.
Yeah. Here we go. What did you do wrong that was a factor to why the parenting situation fell apart? Now, let me frame this. Y'all remember when I asked this question for the ladies? Same thing, except it's asked in reverse for the men. So we're talking about situation where you get a young lady pregnant, you all aren't healthily co-parenting, right? And it's not working. So what did you do wrong or what do men do wrong to where you can't co-parent and you're not reconciling with the mother of your children? Why did it fuck up? Why ain't it working?
Why did the relationship fuck up? Or why did the co-parenting fuck up?
Why did the co-parenting fuck up? We only gonna focus on the co-parenting. I mean, you can include the relationship if you can, but the question I think when we asked it to the ladies, we were trying to figure out, okay, why couldn't you keep the family unit together, so to speak? So that was kind of the premise that we asked the ladies Thursday. So I wanted to kind of flip it and ask the men the same thing. If I'm being honest, here we
I don't
go.
got kids, so I can't really answer.
I got you. You ain't gotta have kids to answer this one. This is what normally happens. We're gonna keep it real today, right? Anybody telling no lies? We good? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Clutch your pearl. Here we go.
Oh.
Bitter baby daddy shit.
Huh?
Bitter baby daddy. Niggas be bitter too.
Yeah, I got one better than that, Bino.
Jealousy.
Most children are not supposed to be here. Most children are not supposed to be here. They were not planned. They were oops babies.
Damn.
So what normally happens when you have a bunch of unplanned children by people that really don't want to be parents?
They disregard them because they didn't want them to begin with.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let somebody else go.
What he say?
Okay, so
keeping it tall tonight, y'all.
But does that okay? All right. But do they explain why the parenting situation went wrong because they wasn't supposed to be here? So and a dude, so are you saying, all right, whoever that was, go ahead, my bad.
I got you, bro.
It's a lot to explain.
Yeah, but go ahead, Jay and Brittany. Then I'll sum it up.
Oh, my bad. I got a phone call.
You cool. Britt, what you got?
No, I'm just agreeing with what Bino was asking. It's like, is that true? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, that's true. But Bino, you can finish saying what you was gonna say.
Yeah, like okay, so we know most kids not supposed to be here. So you're gonna have to like mine's won't plan, right? So I don't know about Strata, CJ. I don't know what Scan got going on, Mel, but I know majority of a lot of dudes, it wasn't planned, but dudes still step up. So speak to the ones that speak up, because we also had kids that wasn't planned to be here. So you feel what I'm saying? So to what you saying, what's the difference?
I got you. I think that one of the major differences is the level of resentment that builds up, because we know how this conversation go. Yeah, you feel me? Like, think about it. She come to you, y'all been casually having sex or whatever, y'all chilling. Then it's like, I bet. She like, yeah, I gotta tell you something. What's up? I think I'm late. What you mean you late? My period ain't came. Did you take your pills? Yeah. I mean, I might have missed one. So what you gonna do? What you want me to do? I'm being honest. I ain't really ready to be a daddy right now. I mean, do you need help? Like, where we going with this? And then before you know it, one thing is being said, another thing is being communicated, whether they disagree on whether the child should still be on this planet or whether they disagree on being ready to be parents. I think that right there to a factor that can make co-parenting break down before it even gets started, because they never wanted to do it.
Right. And we can honestly say a lot of men will tell them, you need to get rid of, I don't, like you said, I don't be a daddy. You said it nicely, but here go the money, go take care of it. And she don't. I don't believe in that. I want this baby. So now that baby is truly hers, but she gonna make the nigga be a part of it as well. So now you got this shit because it ain't gonna work, because he didn't want to be a fucking daddy. He didn't want to have baby by you. But you thinking that's gonna fucking keep him around or whatever. Yeah, he around, but he ain't really around. You know what I'm saying? At the same token. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but
no, okay. So so to concede with y'all, I would go back to say that those men, to Strata point, so that'll be another why it's so hard for men to be accountable. Those are men that are not accountable for their actions. See, because I had the same conversation y'all talk about, but once it was decided that it was going to happen, had to be accountable.
That part.
Right. I mean, which is true, but then you got some men who were led, or I ain't about to talk about us ladies, but I am gonna talk about us ladies. Some of them lied. Like you said, I'm on a pill. I can't get pregnant.
Yeah, I had them
really
conversations. I had
So,
those
yeah.
conversations. Yeah.
So you thinking you've been dealing with this person, so you're trusting them enough to do whatever. Then boom, when it happens, it's like, okay, what the fuck we gonna do, baby? We're not gonna have this baby. But at the
Right.
same token, y'all men, as y'all know, that's all you can say. It's the woman's body. She got to find to say so, and then the court is gonna say you're gonna have to be a part of it because you should have wrapped up.
Yeah, this is interesting. What I say is that dudes don't realize that it's only one. It ain't but so many things that can make you slave in today's time. And one, I think damn near the only thing that can make you a slave besides catching a felon and getting locked up is your dick. Your dick will make you a slave. You feel what I'm saying? So I had those conversations like you talking about, the whole pill conversation and all this other stuff. But it's interesting, and Sway, I don't know if Sway's still here, but Sway said like some months ago, it stuck to me, right? Because I thought about the shit, right? I could have easily been a dude was like, well, Shorty lied about taking her pills, or Shorty lied about being able to get pregnant. You feel what I'm saying? But I more so took the initiative that, hey, it's some security measures I could have used to make sure things went that way. See, that was me being accountable. So instead of resenting and blaming the woman, and saying you did say this, I could use that and run with it all day, like most niggas do, right? Well, not even say most, like some do. Whoever has done it as men. But instead, I thought to myself, like, you know what? You was always told not to trust her. You know what I'm saying? You was always told that. You was always told that wear protection. You know what I'm saying? You was told these things, and these are some of the reasons of why. Shorty missed a pill. You know what I'm saying? Shorties forget popping their pills sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? A busy day might happen. They supposed to pop it in the morning. They run out of work. They run late for work. You feel what I'm saying? Some people get the wrong medical, whatever you want to call it, and think one thing and another thing happen. So, like, I agree, but I think the men that are accountable and understand that, you know what I'm saying? They be accountable. They understand that part. The ones that are not accountable don't never think that way. And Sway said some shit not too long in the Discord. He out here now. It's funny. It's ironic. He's like, yo, make sure your shorty take the pill. Wake up every day. Remind her about the pill. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, shorty, take your pill today. It's 7 o'clock. Set your alarm on your phone just like she got her alarm set on her phone. You feel what I'm saying? Be that security measure if y'all, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Like, type shit. So I agree. I agree with that shit y'all talking about.
I think that, like you said, Bino, that's where this conversation we're gonna have it on both extremes, because, like you said, both men exist. And I think if we're going to tell the truth about it, we have to account for both of them. And that's exactly what you did. You know, there's some people that once they realize we've reached a point of no return, they're going to step up, right? It might not have been how they wanted it, but they're going to find a way through. And you got other people that will justify and excuse and justify why it ain't how they wanted to be. And that's going to be the reason why they're going to fucking leave, because it didn't go how they wanted to. And they got a million reasons why. And I think that's be what the fuck it is. I think that most people don't even like each other enough to be in relationships, let alone make babies together. Y'all can't stand each other. Y'all just have great sex. Kids don't help that.
So why is it that, okay, let's say that happened, right? Y'all step up. Y'all are now being held accountable. Why y'all still go around make the same motherfucking mistake again and possibly again? So now, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that come in? Because that's still not really taking accountability, because you didn't learn that for the first time you fucked up and did the same thing. I'm just saying, we're talking about children here. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing is, every unplanned kid ain't the same mistake.
That's true.
That's why. Every unplanned kid not the same story. You know what I'm saying? So if you talk about why we keep having unplanned kids, that's right. Are you asking that? Why we keep having unplanned kids? Because niggas is out here fucking irresponsibly. That's why.
But I'm saying, you said they took responsibility, stepped up for the first one. But damn, I don't want to be in this situation again with this person, because again, we were just out here fucking having a good time. Now I made a baby. I'm gonna step up and take care, but I gotta deal with this crazy ass bitch for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Now you get another girl, you still doing the same fucking shit. Like, to me, you still take accountability of, like, you know what? Let me wrap the fuck up, because this bitch might be crazy too. And if she, you know what I'm saying? Like, when does that come into play? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out.
That's actually a good question. I'm gonna let them guys answer that.
I got you. I think that you cool. I think what
talk that talk quick, boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. This is what I think it is. I think what normally happens, Brittany, is that if you haven't conquered the self, meaning the desires and urges, you can know some shit is wrong and keep doing it. We do it in every other thing in life, but somehow we think that we can escape it when it comes to sex. This scam Lightly's point. If we're talking about overweight and being unhealthy, we are aware of what can make you that way. it ain't gonna stop us from doing what we want to do. I think that when we talk about sex, it's no fucking different, right? The urge to still have it, again, those moments where you in the heat of this shit, it's very hard to step outside yourself and be clear. This is why you can keep making the same mistake. I don't like calling it a mistake, but let's call it what it is, right? Mistake over and over, because you still haven't learned. Like, you only learn temporary. And I think that when you are taking temporary L's and you not really, reflecting on that shit, life will find a way to bring it back into your face. Life is funny. It will do that shit every time. If you think you learned a lesson and you ain't got no changed behavior, life a curveball and throw that shit right back at you. Oh, word? You thought you had that one? Let me see. I'm gonna throw it another way at you. Let's see if you can handle it that way. And then, life, I think it does that with everything. But like you said, I think with kids, and we're talking about men, it's a lot easier to identify when you ain't learned that lesson. You feel me? But I think, Benny, you're on mute, brother. But yeah, I'll land there. What you got, bro?
No, I was saying that's a fact. And it revert back to what you saying about how some of us, like, consequences make us be accountable. Because, like, to Brittany that was valid, because if you're accountable for the first time, then you gotta, like, that should how can I say this? What word I'm looking for to say this? That should prevent you from the next time to doing the same actions. But, like, on a point of having kids, if you one of the guys like me who is like, oh, this is awesome. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I didn't learn no lesson, my nigga. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
I think you probably didn't learn the right lesson.
Yeah.
Which is not having unplanned children. That should be the lesson.
Yeah.
But I think y'all are so focused on, let me not get with this type of female archetype again. Not, oh, I should be planning my children so that I don't have multiple baby mamas and kids with different last names. Because a lot of women don't be giving them y'all's last name anyway. So
Jones game, by the way. Well, go ahead though. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying, like,
right.
The goal should be planned children.
Yeah, I think you're right. The goal should be planned children. I guess if you come from a place where damn near nothing around you, family or not, is not planned, I think you kind of don't think about it like that. But I think you're right. Like, with me knowing what I know now about life and how to look at it, you're right. I say you're right in hindsight. But I think when you come from an environment when nothing around you is planned, it's like you don't even, you feel what I'm saying?
Your environment.
You don't process it the way you're supposed to. Because somebody can say get married and have kids, but if everybody running around smiling and all this running around here, goddamn, with unmarried parents, you feel what I'm saying? We coming up in school, we straight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it don't stick to you like it's supposed to.
And
you know
then
what I'm saying?
we also have to take into account as well that I'm sorry.
I said that doesn't sound like accountability. Go ahead, so.
No, but as a kid, how can you be it's not accountability. But what I'm saying, as a kid, we like can't do we supposed to be held to be that accountable? Like, shouldn't people before us be accountable so we can be accountable? You feel what I'm saying? Like, to ask us to be accountable as a kid coming out the womb is kind of crazy.
And that's what I'm about to co-sign on before you finish your thought, though. I was about to say, like, sometimes, like, although people feel like we're supposed to know, sometimes we don't have, I'm not saying everybody don't, but sometimes we don't have, like, those leaders or, like, our parents telling us or directing us. So sometimes you do got to get it out the mud and just get it from experiences. And sometimes, unfortunately, it do take multiple experiences to get it.
But a child isn't an experience. A child is that's something you can.
I understand that, but it's just like I don't know how to frame it. Like, I understand exactly where you're coming from, but like for me, I had my first child at 18, so I wasn't equipped. Like, my mom, being older, like, unfortunately, they didn't teach me that. They didn't teach, like, I never had like certain expectations. Like, literally, I had to learn that shit as I went.
I get what you're saying. There has to be something to be accountable to.
Right. So what about after your children? Considering that you didn't have anything to look up to, which is a fair argument, I agree. But now it's kind of perpetuating the same cycle, because if your kids end up doing what you did and say, well, you didn't give me when does it stop?
I feel like with that, I feel like that's where you hold yourself accountable in the present, and you just teach your children, and you guide them a little bit better than you were guided. So for me, I don't see my children having kids out of wedlock, or like my daughter in general, just because she's seen the struggles that I had to go through just to make sure that I provided for them. So
Yeah.
With me, I got a 16-year-old, he be 17 in August, and like I just be like the way I feel like I'm gonna break the cycle is transparency, like really explaining to him, like my nigga, like you feel what I'm saying, like, and I think like me, I mean, I basically come up with a single mom household, like my pop, you know what I'm saying, in and out, whatever, but like not in and out of the house, but in and out of my life, so it's like she just did what she got to do, and I don't think mothers will sit there and let you know, like nigga, you know you ain't supposed to be here, right, for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? Like fathers, we don't mind saying that shit. Like this how it's happened. This is where I fucked up. This is why you're here. I'm glad you're here. But understand now, like this shit is rough. Understand that, you know, you supposed to be in the household with me and your mother, but being that me and your mother was young and that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'll be transparent. That's how I do it.
and that's a bar, because that's exactly
You know
how
what
I
I'm
break
saying?
it down to my daughter. Like
And
I make sure
yeah.
she know, like this is nothing to glorify. This shit ain't sweet. Like she knows. So it's like when you're transparent and you know better now, you tend to teach your children better.
Yeah.
Can I address a comment you put on the screen?
Yeah, shout out to my big
Yeah,
brother.
I got some dust. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have kids, but I came from two parents that had me out of wedlock,
Mm,
and
that's
one was married when he had me out of wedlock. So I definitely didn't have a good example whatsoever. But the tumultuous experience I had with them, I was like, oh fuck no. If I can't give my kids something different, I'm not having kids.
I think that's responsible though. I think, but honestly, Jalen, what all of this boils down to, I think that you hit a point of crossroads of self-awareness. When you hit self-awareness, it's gonna then dictate what you do next. I think a lot of people just be in shit, reacting to shit. And it's kind of hard to have any introspection, reflection, change behavior when you're still in the trenches, right? Like nobody thinks about, let me use a more PG example. Nobody thinks about the fight until after the fight is over with, to keep it simple, right? But when you're still in the middle of the blows, I think that this is why it's so hard to see change behavior instantly. It's not an excuse. I'm trying to understand, like I told y'all, there's going to be a duality to this conversation because you got people that get it, and you got men that's going to be accountable, you got men that ain't. And for y'all to walk away with full disclosure, we got to speak to both, right? And I think that like this is just the reality, is that the people that we want to have this level of awareness, they haven't hit a point to where they're doing anything other than reacting to life. Life happens, they bust a move.
For real, bro.
Melt
At
happened,
one
they bust
point,
another move. You feel me?
yeah.
I was about to say, and I don't think, I mean, it may be easier for some people, but it's really hard for other people to like be able to like try to say process stuff in real time and then be able to make like a proper discernment.
Yeah, I agree with Saul, especially when you living it fast, right?
Yep.
Like I got a lot of foresight in my later years in life, but before I had hindsight, because I was in the moment, nigga. I was living so fast. I won't slow down enough to process the next thought, the next action. You feel what I'm saying? Everything was like this. It's like to a point, like I see things clear now because I slowed my life down. You feel what I'm saying? So now I got a lot of more. And Strat, I talk to you a lot behind chat. We talk about shit that probably never hit the panel. And I got a lot of foresight. CJ, no, I got a lot of foresight now. You feel what I'm saying? Before I didn't have it, I had hindsight. That's just what it was. With me anyway. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people who end up having kids young, out of wedlock, doing a lot of things. They living like in the moment and they not thinking. Like I remember a person used to, like, people used to tell me 10 years from now, like, bro, at 18, do you know how far 10 years seem?
Yeah.
That seemed like a long time at 17, 18 years old when you tell somebody in 10 years. In 10 years, nigga, I need this today. You feel what I'm saying? I need this right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Let me
young and fast. That's why they say living life young and fast, bro. You feel me?
Let me answer the question real quick, because I tried my best. Y'all hear me right?
Yeah.
I tried my best to really think about my answer to the actual question. Why is it so hard for men? No, that's not it. What was the original one? What did you do wrong that also was a factor to why the parenting situation fell apart? Only thing I could honestly think of as far as the parenting goes is that I'm the oldest of 5 from my mom's side. I learned basically how to be a young adult early. So I knew how to do a lot of parenting shit, from changing diapers to how to teach a kid without needing teachers to how to talk to a kid regardless for the shits and giggles. When I was at Strata, you from Orlando, when I was at charity daycare, I used to go there with Dot and just be working with her and shit just for the hell of it. I was the young nigga that was helping grown people with kids. So ultimately, I knew how to handle kids. So by the time I had my kid, that shit was easy. It was easy as fuck. But it's literally the total opposite for the mother of my child. Shit. Her mom was like Ike and Tina. She never knew much about the dad. She's like got a big 15-year gap between her and her next sister. So she never really had none of that. I knew it. I was fully aware of it. Because I knew it way before we even was dating. We was just homies. So I think where I fucked up, to be honest with you, is that instead of trying to like take the time to teach her what I know as far as parenting and all that stuff, I just simply did it and was just like, you do your own thing. I ain't really sit down and be like, yo, when she get like this, try this, try that. I didn't do none of that. So by the time the relationship ended, the back and forth became this whole thing where, you think you're the better parent, this, that, and there, and it was just like, now it sounds like it's envy coming out now. Like you didn't hear it while I was in a relationship, but now that we're not, folks will say whatever when you're not in a relationship no more. And that was one of the biggest things. Like, you think you're the better parent? I don't think I'm anything. I did what I did. Well, you didn't show me nothing. You're right. I give you that. So it becomes a little backlash where they feel like now they gotta do it what they think is their way, even though the way that actually already was working was just the one I didn't show you also. So I think that's probably where I fucked up.
That's so
you know damn well you told her I'm the better parent. Go ahead. You got mad to her and said it. You let it slip out at least one time.
No, I never did. Like there was a time where when we used to like make a joke out of it, because one of the things that my dad used to say is like every joke has some truth to it. I don't care what the type of joke is, every joke has some truth to it. And one of the jokes was, even when we had like friends come over, she'd be like, our daughter love him. She don't care about me. It's a joke, but deep down, you really feel that way. You really feel like our daughter likes me way more than you. And then one day as a joke, we kind of proved it, where we used to walk around. I think I told the story a few times before, where one day my daughter's not even one, but she's already walking and shit and kind of doing a little jibber jabber talk. So she's just standing there, and I said, to prove a point, I'm wearing a tank top and some shorts. My daughter had on a onesie. I said, I'm gonna walk away. When I come back, I'm not gonna have the tank top on. Why she take that onesie off? Why? Because she's trying to imitate her dad. So she said, all right, let's prove it. So I walked away. My daughter's standing there looking at me. She's about to follow me. And I'm just like, no, mini-me, stay there. I walk away. We still got the video clip somewhere. I come back. I don't have the onesie on. You literally see my daughter with a sippy cup looking, puts the cup down, and attempts to take off the onesie. That goes to show you that she really paid attention to what daddy's doing. We used to do the whole thing at the park where she would go one way, I go the other, and let's see which one she follows. She never went to the mall. She was basically, daddy's going this way, I'm going this way. So it was, even though it was a running joke, obviously there was some truth to it. And then you don't really hear it till the breakup happened. Then she's like, she always loved you, always made her like you more. That's never was the case. So I feel like if I had while we was together, if I was like more so showing her how I was being a parent to our daughter, how I was doing things, because I was doing it not just because I had the skills for it, but because in my military career, I'm in and out. So every time I'm back, I'm putting as many minutes and seconds into my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Then I still had school and shit. So it's just like, I know I got to go at some point. Hell, I might leave at this deployment and don't come back. So every time I'm back, I'm drilling, hey, this is daddy. This is what he does. Let me show you this. You know what I'm saying? So, but I also didn't put enough energy into showing those same exact skills to her. So I feel like that's probably where I fucked up. Because I feel like if I did that, the bond would have been a different type of bond. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can I say something real quick? I'm glad Scam up here because I love these points. And these niggas, I want to see if Scam can do it. Because these niggas could never do it. Every time they say this weird ass shit, right? So Scam says, Scam, I'm glad you out here. Never respect, brother. Right? So Scam said at PJ Hawson, somehow people think consequences guide people more than values do. Let me explain something to you. I love the dude. You got kids, Scam?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I love the dudes and women who like to make that point. Now, Scam, have you ever nutted in some pussy before?
I don't speak
Wow.
English.
He don't
Right.
speak.
So I ain't gonna ask PJ because PJ up here. So dudes and women that love to make this point act like they never had unprotected sex before, and never let their act like they never allow a seed to possibly swim to their aid. And unless you that person that never did that, you can't speak on values, bro. Because you did the same action as the people that had the kids. You did the same action. You just ain't come up with the same result for whatever reason that may be.
You didn't have
But
to.
we got to stop making this value point because people get to walk around with no proof that they did the same actions. Well, we know majority of damn near everybody took the same action as the person that had the kids.
You
And
didn't have
until
to.
you're the person that can adamantly say, I have never, you really can't make a value point.
It wasn't applied to that. Yeah, it wasn't applied to that. But since you asked,
But this whole conversation is applied to it. So it is applied to that because we talking about consequences, family, and kids.
okay,
So it is applied to that because the whole conversation is applied to that.
okay. Well, I mean, if you're gonna speak for me, then it is what it is.
I ain't speaking
Go
for
ahead,
you. I'm just
Cam.
speaking to that point.
Okay, that point wasn't applied to that. It was in general. But to this point, have I had unprotected sex? Yes. Do I own it and accountable and all that? Yes. If there was, and if all this would have happened, I'd have been right there, and the answer would have been yes. I wouldn't been up here in the talking point mafia talking about the system, the white man, the taking the child support. No. If that's what happens, you cut the check. You do the best you can with what you got because it's a decision you made. Man asked for submission. What does submission look like from a woman? Her bent over, looking back, saying, bring that work. Think that's the most submissive position there is. I believe in leadership and fellowship and responsibility and everything. So if it goes wrong and it was a decision that I volunteered for, I asked her to do that. So I accept what comes with it, good or bad. Could it end up a nasty situation? No, I'll be honest. It's only a couple people that I've done that with. And if coulda, woulda, I probably would be married. I probably would have done any and everything and was willing to whatever. I don't just go do that or haven't went out and just done that in the street. Otherwise, I'd be like them other people on the dust panel yelling at women. I don't have any children. I'm not in them situations.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all good and well. But like I was saying, to that point right there, it's just funny that go ahead. I thought you was finished.
Yeah, that comment was just in general guidance. It wasn't towards the raw dog runners and slick dick Tonys.
Yeah, well, I was relating that comment to what we're talking about and not in general. So excuse me if you meant something else, but I don't think I'm far off. I don't think I'm wrong for relating that comment to the conversation, right? Because it's like, because it's like this is what we talking about at this moment. So when we use the word consequence, values, we all said these words based on this conversation that we're having right now, this topic. So
I was talking in general.
I got you. So I can see to that point, but I'm just saying. So I still want to let that point simmer. If anybody can rebuttal it, they can. No, because we say kids out of wedlock, but we ain't supposed to have sex wedlock, and not even to mention the sex, but we have unprotected sex, and majority of us, even the ones that don't have kids, did the same action, the same seed swam in that same canal that the ones that had kids. So until you can say you didn't do that, I'm always fight for the people that love saying that because they don't got kids.
No, Bina, like I said, relationships that have failed, that I've been in, that I initiated, and this is the woman that I wanted. I take responsibility and accountability because I know there was something I could have done different if I would have known, or if I would have been a different outcome.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just not on the and it's like, okay, that's what happened then. What can I do better in the future? And I got all the grace for them. I might get 50% of the grace coming back, not 100. That's their choice. But that's more what I'm referring to.
For sure. I got you. 10-4.
I like it. Got you. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the
SPS
Podcast.
I got about 3 gallons of dust. Yeah, me. Yeah.
3 gallons.
We all got it. You feel me? Make sure you got your
dust. 50 gallons, just 3.
I said just 3. Hey man, let's get right to it. To the next one.
Oh, I was going to answer the question.
What you got?
What was the question again? I got caught up.
Oh, we were talking about the
Oh,
co-parenting and how what onus would the man have to take in scenarios where the co-parenting situation didn't work. So I'm not talking about the people that co-parent. I'm talking about the people that they broke up. They still have. I'm talking about the people that literally broke up. I ain't seeing my kid no more. Fuck that kid. We out. So I know the fellas were giving we were all giving anecdotal stuff. So I mean, you can speak on whichever part of it, but I think when we framed it to the women, we were talking about a scenario to where co-parenting was not a reality, that the parent was completely absent. What role did women play in it? So if you want to speak to it generally, the question would be, what role do you think men played in scenarios where they are irreconcilable with the mother of their children?
If at the end of the day you are the initiator, you ironed your suit on, you ironed your pants, shined your shoes, drove out on the interstate 20-foot hunting for some buns. Use your best lines, brushed your teeth, you initiated it. So what comes with it, you have to own. If the dude did everything he could, because unfortunately, and this is a small percentage, it's not going to be a majority, the 5-10%. I do know a couple of people made the mistake, got the wrong chick pregnant. They did everything they could, or the woman had gotten so unbearable to the point where he had to say, look, here's the check or no check. You and that kid, I can't do nothing for you because I can't be within 3 meters of this woman. Small percentage.
Yeah.
But there is a percentage that, look, yeah, I did what I did. I was wrong. Should have vetted, should have, could have. But as we are today, I can't work with that woman and I can't work with that kid because of what some of the stuff that these women put men through. I've seen that before. But the most of them are just talking that bullshit. Let's just be real.
That's real. Let's get to the next question. I'm going to let the ladies give their opinion first, and then the fellas will retort. You know what I'm saying? I want to get their opinions. I know they've been listening and, you know, being a part of the conversation. I want to make sure y'all stay active and your microphone stay hot in this topic. You heard me. So, ladies.
Giovanna go first. I ain't heard Giovanna voice this whole time.
Yeah. We're going to go Giovanna, then we're going to go Jalen, then we're going to go Kiki, then we're going to go Saw, and then
me. I'm boo to Kiki. Yeah. Boo to me.
Go to you? Okay.
So no. I said boo to me. I said boo to me. Don't go to me. I'm fine with my spot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, bet. Well, I hope y'all remember the order because I don't. I can't rewind it back. So, ladies, everyone has to give me an answer, maybe outside of Jalen, depending on how she's feeling. Similac is kind of expensive. So, you know, sometimes.
So are walkers.
You know what I'm saying? And there's other times where you get a little gassy. So we will get her to answer some questions, but not all of them, okay? So to my big girls, why do you all think it's so hard for men to say what they mean and mean what they say?
Can we just say it? Just say our statement, no explanation, then we'll let y'all rebuttal. Because if not, we will be at this shit.
You'll be here all day. I like that, Brittany.
Well, see, Brittany, go ahead and kick this off. But I do got a question though. So,
he said your name first.
But my question is to what content is this on? What context?
Anything.
Oh, go ahead, Brittany. I'll come behind you. Pause.
Well, mine is
not pause. I'm glad you said pause. You a real nigga.
Why did I do the N word?
I'm my bad. You a real ninja.
Civilian. Real civilian. Big civilian shit.
My bad, I forget. You're a real civilian.
Thank you.
Gotta get a retirement, y'all.
That's such an insult, low key in the military. You're a real civilian.
Oh, maybe that.
You know what? I ain't saying nothing else.
Officer.
I don't know what to say between military and civilians.
I'll look at you weird.
Hey man, you guys just excuse the military. You know, we ain't military. Y'all. G.I. Jane, she get it. You a real one, G.I. Jane. Brittany, what's your answer?
G.I. Jane and G.I. Joe. I be forgetting. My bad.
My answer was they want that pussy. Okay. That's the reason why they came. So that's it for me. So Giovanna, what you got? Just say it and that's it.
Wow, your answer to the question at the bottom. Why is it so hard for men to say what they mean and mean what they say? It's because they want that pussy.
I agree. I agree. But then I also feel like it could be like, you know, we be a little emotional sometimes. So it's just like, don't nobody feel like going through all that all the time.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Anything to add?
Giovanna, Kiki,
So
Jalen.
I think there are sometimes where I think it's kind of hard for them to actually mean what they say, because sometimes when they actually get what they say or what they ask for, they ain't ready for it.
Hey, that was my point. That was my response.
That's interesting. I like that. Kiki or Jalen, y'all want to add something before the fellas retort or get a context?
Why is it so hard for men to say what they mean and mean what they say? Because they don't know how. I don't have the words for it. But yeah, it's kind of on the lines of Brittany. I mean, because it ain't too many people out there dating to marry. They're gonna whine and down a little bit or lie, mostly lie, just to get in your drawers. Just to do that little 1-2 stroke and then they out of there. I mean, they ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, cause see, we're not. No. But okay, so my question. Let me ask a clarifying question before I go into my premise. Right, my clarifying question, to you ladies. So you all are saying that men en masse are telling you all they want relationship, have sex with y'all?
Oh hell no.
And they might not need to say they want a relationship. They're just saying what they need to.
Yeah, you can sell a dream without saying all that.
So, all right, walk me down this road before the fellas answer. Yeah, I'm curious now. What are they saying?
I ain't
Like,
curious.
it's not even, like I don't know what they saying. I'm not in the game.
But y'all know what they saying. I sent a whole screenshot today.
Brittany.
Oh well, read this
Brittany
screenshot, honey, because
said,
we need that.
It must be working now.
Brittany said that niggas
And
don't
it's
say
not.
what they mean because of sex. I think what she's trying to say is she feel like niggas just say what they need to say to guarantee the opportunity of sex is still on the table. They don't want to say nothing outside. They're like, man, if I say this, how I really feel, shit, she might back out and I ain't getting the draws. That's what Brittany taught.
So with the whole relationship thing, so they're not saying that they don't want a relationship. What they're gonna do is lead you on enough to where you feel like that relationship is attainable. When the reality
get the draws.
Yeah.
So they put you. So we put y'all right in a sweet spot where we don't lie to y'all, but y'all lie to yourself.
Wait, no. Why would you do that?
Yeah, you're right, Bino.
I mean, you know what to do. You know what to do.
It can go two ways though.
She said, "Yeah." Oh, she was shaking her head. I think she said, "Oh hell no, hell no."
No, to Giovanna's point, which is something I was
Gotcha.
gonna say.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it means, bro. We just. I don't want to take over that. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. My bad. I ain't mean to take over that point. Y'all go ahead.
I'm trying to figure it out. I need to fill this out more. Like, so it's like the relationship, is it off the table, but it's not on the table, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you because I agree with what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
like,
I can say so. Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying, but in reality, if you think about it, all we do is put you in the comfortable. We ain't even put you there. You got comfortable with you. We've been out, whatever. Put you there, got comfortable there, got you in the sweet spot where you actually lie to yourself. We don't lie to you.
Oh well, I mean, we said this a couple of shows ago that sometimes we do that, so I don't know. But
I'm neutral because it can go two ways.
All right, what you guys can?
To Giovanna's point, it can be you ask for something and then it's different when you actually get it. Dude say, all right, I want a marriable, fit, feminine, whatever the talking point say woman. Okay, she right there. Now what? And some dudes fold. I ain't gonna lie, I've been guilty. Marriable woman sitting right there. Now what do? I can communicate, I can do this, but am I on the husband level? At the time, I was not. So in time, I was right back single.
Damn.
But on the other side, sometimes we meet women, we think that she's this woman.
Yo, Venus going. Why you bringing up all Venus comments, bro?
She going hammer. She going hammer, bro.
Then you start yakking and quacking, or start acting like, hold up, I thought you was. Then we start kind of easing back on. Let's kind of be friends. Let's kind of take it slow. So it can go both ways.
Okay. Mel. Oh, go Saudi, and then we're gonna get the mail. Go ahead.
But,
Saudi.
go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was just about to say the emotional aspect plays a lot too, because I know like sometimes like I act a little militant, but like I'm really a crybaby. So if you say certain stuff to me in a certain tone, like I'm crying because who you talking to? Why you saying it like that? Like what you mean? So it's like at this point you probably don't even want to tell me nothing because I'm gonna start crying. It's the possibility.
Then she gotta take her glasses off. Then she gotta come on cam. She gotta go smoke one.
This is
Now we gotta
crazy.
get your black and mild.
She needs 24 hours before we hear from her again.
Yeah, they're gonna give you like 4 or 5. This is crazy somewhere in
What are you
there.
talking about? That's actual opportunity to be
This
armed.
is crazy.
That's a perfect opportunity to be Barry White, baby. Why are you crying? Come here, let me rub your shoulders down. Talk to me.
All right, then we get right back in the bag. You know what? I got a different angle.
Time to close to.
Come on. Hey, listen, right? Let me ask y'all a question, ladies. Have a man ever came up to y'all, let y'all know what it was? Y'all took that deal, and then as time went on, y'all reverted back to wanting a different deal, trying to renegotiate the deal. Have y'all ever been through that experience?
No.
Do you know women that went through that experience?
I would say yes, and once.
Hold on, before you explain, before you explain. You say yes. Kiki said no. Kiki, do you know anybody? Do you know any fellow women that went through that experience?
I probably do. If I sit down and think about it, I probably do.
Peaches, Brittany, what about y'all?
I would say it made us to the point where I was like, well, hold on. Because I got to make sure, all right, I don't ask for this. And like Scam was just saying, like, hey, this is really what I want already. It's been like that. But I ain't trying to renege.
So yes. Brittany?
Damn.
So you didn't try to renege. Side note, I got you,
I didn't
Peaches.
renege.
No, I got you. Brittany?
No.
No. So no, you never went through, having that experience either. All right, so
what I'm saying is because they wasn't clear all the way in the beginning, so I can't say that they laid everything out. So that's what I'm saying now.
Okay, so 50%. So of dudes, y'all knew exactly what it was in y'all mind. Y'all wanted to renegotiate the contract. So because I'm replying to V, I wish she was up here to to chew me up. But the fact is, bro, it's not emotional abuse. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like what's the opposite of the dude being a nice guy? What's the opposite of a dude if he's dealing with you? He told you what it was. You made the deal. You shook on the deal. What's the opposite? What he supposed to do? An asshole? What he supposed to be? Mean?
Me. He supposed to be me.
What do he supposed to do? The deal is understood and shook on. Y'all wanted to negotiate the deal in your head.
I don't.
Dino,
So is
have
it
you ever
for
been
the
on the
better
other
or
side of
for
that?
the worse?
Huh?
Is the deal going for the better or for the worse?
No, I mean it's going because it's going on the deal. Emotional, so it's like it's not the dude necessarily doing the emotional abuse. Like what y'all gotta understand is women, the dude is going to stay to that place where he understands what he wants to do. He's consistent in his actions, his thoughts, and his deals. Women change the deals.
I'm neutral on this
But
one.
he said it up front. Y'all made a deal. He, like you said, like Starty said, it's not necessarily saying anything about a relationship. So why would y'all think a relationship is going to aspire? Do y'all know dudes do say what they mean and mean what they say? Even when they're lying, they mean what they say and say what they mean because they're lying. They know exactly that they're lying.
I'm neutral, but there is some nuance on this one.
Like we gotta stop like trying to make dudes the bad guy when it comes to this. If it's something that you like and you want more of, speak up about it. And if he commit to it and then he do some bullshit, you got all the fight in the world.
Bino.
Go ahead, Scam.
Okay. There are some incidents we meet women. Man meets woman. He says, I'm just trying to, this ain't gonna be nothing serious. She catches feelings. Man pulls away. They had a conversation, he pulls away or whatever, but they discuss it. That's fair game. There are times where man meets woman, she catches feelings, and he kind of keeps saying just enough to keep that string going. That's kind of you.
When you say catch feelings, what she's doing, she's expressing
Catching feelings.
More?
That's what I'm saying. Catching feelings and expressing feelings.
Okay.
And he could cut the line, had a conversation, but plays and just, I'm going to keep it right over here. I'm gonna keep it right here where I can keep doing what I want to do.
So he say, give me 3 months, that type of vibe. 6 months, I'm trying to get some things together, that type of vibe.
He knows in 6 months he's moving to Arizona. or he knows he's really looking for the one that he really wants. I'm just saying it's kind of great, but if the communication is there, like, look, you got kids and I don't date one with kids, or hey, I'm moving to Kentucky and see, then that's kind of fair. And if she catches feelings, they communicate during the process. That's kind of fair.
Yeah. You're right. It is that too.
Or saying, hey, let's not have a conversation and try to duck, but still.
So I agree with that. So how many times should that happen to a woman, to where they got to be accountable? For even still going with that same script, I give them one time in the early age.
I don't know. I'm a little graceful. It depends on what's going on. If it's obvious not working, or if there really is possibly potential there. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to go for the person that you want. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. But if you can't pull them over across the 50-yard line, then you just let it go.
See, and that gray area that you speak of is where I think they're gonna stay fucked up at. I give them one. I'll even give you two if it's in your early 18 to 25. But after that, you got to be accountable, and you can't stop. You got to stop trying to make dudes be the demons about it, because you know better.
No, I'm just saying the dudes it's only demons.
About the women. The women know better. They know better, bro. They can't hold that. They can't holding that dude at the dude, and that's what they do. They hold that same script, dude after dude after dude, and that's how all men end up not being shit.
No, that's on them.
Exactly.
If they know willingly this dude is trying to be somewhere else, and you're trying to pull him along and it ain't working, then yeah, let it go. Yeah. But he also shouldn't be pulling her and dangling her around.
They hold that shit 10 dudes later. That's the truth. They're not talking about the dude that was 18.
They're talking about men.
All right, my bad.
Right. Yeah, fuck that.
All right, so can I answer the question? They're gonna go and go and go.
That's just universal to me. Men's
my bad, Britt. You right.
Hey, Melly Mel.
What's up?
In the cut, man. Why do you think it's so hard for men to say what they mean and mean what they say?
We got to sugarcoat it, put sprinkles on it, whipped cream. We ain't trying to hurt their feelings. We ain't trying to get the reaction. We gotta save them a little bit.
Oh, okay. So you think it's the after effects? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the reason why we don't mean what we say what we mean is because we have to have so much of a filter between what we say that they can interpret it right, because all the extra sauce and we gotta jazz it up so it's. I see what you're saying, brother.
Yeah, we gotta dock it up a little bit so they can get it right.
Can I pull a CJ right now?
CJ.
Oh
yeah. What he pulled last week. This is bullshit.
Oh, now it's bullshit.
This don't sound like accountability whatsoever. I think if your values are, I'm going to be honest, whether this woman stays or not, you're gonna be honest.
But if I know how you. But if I know how you.
Hold on, Mel. Let her land it, and then you can respond. You got it, brother.
If you know your role as a man in the relationship, if you believe in that gender role structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know you're supposed to keep her in a straight, narrow line with boundaries. So it doesn't matter it shouldn't matter how she feels, especially if you are in the right. You need to stand on your square and tell her what it is, regardless if it hurts her feelings. And I think most women would respect you more, as long as you're not calling her a bitch or whatever. You know, y'all know.
Right.
I like the part at the end of her sentence that she says, "I think more women will respect you more."
That's the thing.
As a person that would just downright just say what it is, they don't respect you more or less regardless. The reaction is virtually the same.
Okay, well, if the reaction is virtually the same, you should stick to your value set, right?
I disagree with you.
I do.
More.
That's why I said it's virtually the same. They're still like, if you do the sugarcoating part, depending on who the person is and what you're talking about, it might translate to their brain easier, because you're saying it in a way where you said 13 words and they're not micromanaging the one word that they didn't like in the sentence. Right? That's if you was me. If you me and you just downright say it like it is, that's what they're gonna do. You're gonna give them 13 words. They're gonna micromanage the one word. Fuck the entire statement. Fuck the premise. This one word that you put in this sentence, I don't like that. Now my feelings is on that. Now we can't even get past get into the actual conversation because I'm stuck on this one word.
Right.
Now if you sugarcoat it, put a cherry on top, sprinkle some extra shit, whatever you want. Boy, it sounds so good. She willing to listen to every fucking thing you're saying if you did it right. But you got to go through the extra steps because if you go straight to the point, you'll never get there.
Is there a healthy balance? Because it's like saying it direct is demonized. Sugar-coated is demonized because it shows bad integrity. Is there a healthy balance?
The healthy balance I will only say is if you've been with the woman long enough that you already know how to talk to her in a certain way where it works. Right. You ain't got to do, but you got to do some steps, but you ain't got to do all the extra steps. It's like just enough. So it's basically a 1-for-1 swap depending on the woman that you're with. But as far as like the overall majority of women when you're dealing with them, especially in the beginning parts, you either gonna sugarcoat that shit to avoid all that extra stuff, or you're just gonna be like me and just be blunt.
So you don't think we sugarcoat stuff when we talk to y'all?
You said what?
Y'all don't think we sugarcoat anything when it comes to talking to y'all?
I don't care what y'all do. To be honest with you, as far as sugarcoat shit, that. And notice my response is very blunt. I don't care. Y'all can sugarcoat it or don't. Your feelings are going to get involved at some point, and then whatever you sugarcoat it, you're going to eventually make that same statement, but now you're being honest because your feelings are affected. So whatever you sugarcoat today, I'm going to hear that same sentence, but more honest and more emotional. And now I know, hey, you said this last week, but now you're saying that same thing, but you're making it hurt because you upset. So I'm going to be real with you. I don't give a fuck. You can be sugarcoating. We're going to hear it again. You're guaranteed going to hear it again.
It don't have to be in a manner where it's hurting your feelings. It's more so that's when you're actually using emotional discipline. Yeah, you have the intelligence, but you have the discipline to go with it. So it's not really, when we say we're sugarcoating anything, it's not really to intentionally hurt your feelings. Sometimes it may happen, sometimes it probably won't. So I don't want you to take that like the wrong way where we're saying that we're sugarcoating stuff to hurt your feelings, when it's more emotion for hurt instead of more emotion for care. And just to try to be respectable of your feelings.
All right, so I know about maybe 2 minutes ago, I said that usually we'll say 13 words and they'll micromanage the one word. What was the word that she just micromanaged?
Don't make me throw something through this camera.
No. Well, fellas, what was the word she just micromanaged?
I can't even tell you.
The word that she micromanaged in this conversation here was hurt your feelings. I said if you sugarcoat it, it doesn't matter. You sugarcoating, you're not trying to hurt our feelings. It's when you make this sugarcoating statement, you're going to make the same statement later when you're upset and angry. But now, because you're upset and angry in your feelings, now it's going to cut us. You're purposely doing it to cut us. So if you're sugarcoating it, obviously you're not trying to hurt nobody's feelings.
Touche. Okay.
It's just, I'm not trying to point Giovanna out. I'm just basically saying, literally less than 2 minutes ago, I said what women tend to do, and you literally turned around and did it. But I'm not a saint. I'm just here.
Whatever.
He said 4K. I'm just saying. But no, let me answer the question because if not, Bino and Scam are gonna be button heads again. Why is it so hard for men to say what they mean and mean what they say? I like what Mel said, basically the whole sugarcoating thing to avoid the drama, avoid the bullshit. Another reason would be, at the end of the day, I like my peace. And if I already feel like from past experiences that if I downright tell you what I'm really thinking, what I'm really feeling right now, that I know that it's the calm before the storm, I'd rather not even say it. Now, me personally, I'm internally an asshole, but I kind of bring up that I put the sign in your face before you even say we a couple. Hey, deep down I'm an asshole, and I don't mean that like I'm disrespectful. It's more so I'm only calling myself an asshole because when a man is honest, I mean brutally honest, what is he labeled as? An asshole. But in reality, he's just being honest. It's just that you're so used to things being sugarcoated your whole life that when you hear this blunt version of it, it sounds like an asshole. Saudi been around us long enough that she thought I was an asshole, but in reality, she acknowledged that, he just being honest. It's just fucked up how he's saying it. That's it. I don't even
Damn.
try to be. I ain't calling you no bitch, hoe, trick, slut, anything. I just be like straight up, da 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 da, blah 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 blah, this that, and the third. And I got my feelings by the day. It makes sense, but it's just like I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it is what it is. I just think if men started to be like, don't do the sugarcoating thing and just straight up say it, then I can agree with the statement that Scam said that, oh, they might respect you more for it, because I've also never experienced I respect you more for it.
That
It's
wasn't
more
my
so
comment.
you getting your feelings and you just simply accept that the reality of it. That's all you're really doing. You're not
That wasn't.
there's
That
no
was
respect
Jalen.
being gained out of it. They
That
just
was
kind of
Jalen's
accept the
comment, not mine.
reality of it.
Jalen said that, not me.
Oh,
Yeah, that
well,
was a
whoever
joke.
said it. Like we just accept the reality of it. That's all they're gonna do. That outside that, no. The respect
Yeah,
part, that shit don't never come in.
most won't respect you more for it.
There you go. There you
It's
go.
For this, for me, for this question, it's just so many things that run into this question for me. To a point, a lady up here almost had to give me a particular example of this question, right? Because it's like I can look at it as the regular way, like when you talking about getting up with a girl, why they don't say what they mean, and I'm gonna stand on the point. I don't think too many dudes do that outside of the early age. So what's accounted for since you was 25 plus? I could look at it as, do I look fat? Nah, you look good. Like, what we talking about? Like, it's a lot of reasons why both parties don't say what they mean and mean what they say. Not just dudes, but it's about us. So give me an example.
I give you an example.
No, a woman.
Hey, Venus, you got an example for us? How you doing? First off, good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Venus.
Hi,
Venus, you with
people.
us?
Can you hear me?
What's up?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, an example of what now?
Like,
An example.
in my mind, Venus, the way my mind
She got feedback.
the way my mind processed the question, it's so many different reasons why we don't do what we say and say what we mean. I mean, say I can't. It's small, but what the question say, and like I could look at it so many ways and answer it so many different ways. You feel what I'm saying? So like, I would like personally need an example because in my mind, both parties don't say what they mean and mean what they say in a lot of different situations.
So you want an example?
Yeah, an
Yeah, so I can,
example of a
or we
man.
just can pass me because I just got so many different ways of looking at that shit.
Well, I just look at it like it's communication issues. Sometimes people don't know how to effectively say what they want, and the other thing is fear. Like what I came up earlier, and I was hearing like conflating being able to say what you mean and also have tact and be respectful when you say it. Y'all are conflating that, it seems like to me, with lying to people, which are two different things. So a man intentionally misleading you because at the end of the day he has his own selfish intentions on why he's doing that cannot be used as an excuse for, well, I don't want to sugarcoat things, because there's a difference. You can be tactful, or y'all want to call it sugarcoating, but there's a way to say something and still be respectful and be responsible about how that person feels. And then there's just lying and misleading people, and it sounds like y'all trying to make it all the same, and it's not.
No, it's not the same. So I
It's
agree. So
definitely
I'm
not.
glad you said what you said, right? Because I have personally experienced, right? Like I don't like I agree. Like you don't just because it's the truth don't mean you say it in a way where it hurts somebody's feelings, right? You feel what I'm saying? That don't mean you can just say it any kind of way you want. That's how I personally think. Personally, like experience and personally learned things and move different. And when we come to like that's what I'm saying with this question, you can answer it so many different ways. It's like I keep using a fat example, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gaining weight, you can say things like that, but it's still gonna make her react the same way if you say, yeah, you fat.
Yep. It's okay to put the
So we go to
donuts
the point,
down.
Okay,
like
but
we
you
go through
can't be
experience. I mean,
scared.
go through experience and know it's
You can't
the
be
same.
scared of the outcome though. That's
it-
why I
it's,
said
it's,
fear. Like,
it's not it's
okay,
not it's not scared. Like
it
CJ said, we
is.
want peace. You feel what I'm saying? If this is going to be a long drawn out, well, why you look at this? This is why you look at stuff on Instagram. All these different things is going to come up off that one question.
Yep.
And me answering
What you're
truthfully don't matter the
what,
way I answer. And it's not
what
about
you're
being.
still describing is fear. You could call it what you want, but it
It's
is.
not
It's
You
not
Venus.
fear.
fear.
It's
You
not.
got
It's not
it's
You
nowhere
fear.
near fear.
you're
It's not
fearing
fear.
what's coming next, so you want to avoid it. So you say some bullshit.
It's not fear.
It's
It's
definitely not.
knowing that it don't matter to y'all. The truth, y'all can't handle it.
You call it what you want, Bino. But if I really don't give a fuck about what happens next, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Period.
But see, now you're just speaking for yourself.
Are you sure
I'm
that
talking
we
about
can't
in
handle the truth
general
or y'all
though.
can't handle the truth?
If Venus is
We handle
deep
the truth
down
all
in
the
the
time.
relationship, I just don't want to. I just can't. I mean, I'm not going to say you've been pretty raw and honest, so I ain't going to discredit what you said. But it's hard to believe if you into somebody, love somebody, and it's like, and you know, even if it's a dude, like no matter how what I say to this dude or how I say it, he gonna always react in a upset manner. Is always gonna fuck up his confidence. Is always gonna do something. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're gonna concede. You're gonna
Yeah,
acquiesce to his. You're gonna acquiesce to his feelings.
yeah, of course I am. But the difference
Yeah.
is in this conversation, I would tell you, yeah, because I'm afraid of what happens next. Therefore, I didn't say the thing. That's the part. I'm going to be honest about why. You guys are calling
Right.
it something else, but at the end of the day, is you being afraid of what happens next, and
It's
you're
not
trying to
Venus.
avoid it.
The only reason why I'm gonna agree to disagree and leave it alone is because you would like to think is afraid, but I think every man up here can honestly say, and we say we don't mind saying we're afraid of anything. If I'm afraid of something, it's not afraid. That's not the feeling we get. I'm just
We
saying
just
that's
don't
not
want.
the feeling we
But
get.
what is the feeling you get? Because if it isn't
Because
fear of losing
it's
the
the
person,
idea that if I say a certain thing a certain way to this individual, there's a pretty high chance that chaos starts. Why would I want? I can have chaos with some random ass nigga. I can have chaos with some random woman in the streets. I don't want chaos with my woman.
Right.
So why would I make a statement that hey, if I say it like this or like this, the odds of there being chaos is high? Now, there a long time ago, that was me. That was before I even had a daughter when I was like that. But since then, nigga, no, I don't care because me growing up with a lot of female friends, I've learned from listening to their conversations, seeing the conversations they be having in their phones, where they just be like, "Look at this, they just so stupid." Yes, you sound stupid. Not me, him. No, you, because you'll realize that it didn't matter what this nigga said. At the end of the day, if you already had a biased feeling on something, or if you already have a trauma built in from something, or if you already had this experience in the past where no matter what somebody says, whether he's in a relationship with you or not, if he says a certain thing a certain way, the trigger is the same. The reaction is the same. It don't matter how he said it. I've said the same thing calmly. I've said it purposely as an asshole to the point, yeah, you can call it disrespectful. And I've said it in between. And the reactions was all the same regardless of the woman. So at a certain point, I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to try my best not to say disrespectful words. And if your feelings get hurt, my reaction it won't matter. I'm still going to say it. And it's how you handle it is how you handle it. But guess what? I said it. Go from there.
Hey, it's TJ.
Damn.
And then to a point, you turn into an asshole no matter what. I think we get to a point we accept it. Because like I done tried all the other avenues. So you're right. I'm at a point like I'm gonna tell you exactly what I mean. And and I know how to say it the perfectly sweetest way you could possibly understand it. But it goes over their head that way. We know that too. You feel what I'm saying? So
Then you don't, because if you were communicating effectively, then it's not going over somebody's head. That's
you would
kind of the
think
point.
you would think Venus, but we
No, the point of effective. Like if I'm trying to get a message across to Bino, and then we walk away from the exchange, and I didn't, then I did not communicate effectively.
You would like to think that, but when a person purposely study communication, when a purposely evaluate themselves and is a very accountable person and purposely use different avenues all through 37 years of life, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna allow myself to believe. You feel what I'm saying? We see what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? That it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. You allow the world to trick yourself out of that too, and then you'll become a wetback, soft. Spine ain't gonna stand on nothing either. So it's a balance in both. So Venus, I get what you're saying. That's the average person. And you would think what you said, I would think that too. You would think that too. I bet you I'll be able to communicate with you and it won't go over your head. But that's not what the average people ain't
But it
walking around
might.
like that no more.
It might. Even if my only thing is this, that's going to happen to all of us.
I had a
Even if
question.
it did, though, I would know. Like I've said a lot of times in conversation, all right, well, we just gonna agree to disagree. That's me acknowledging I know you don't really understand what I'm saying. But okay, cool.
Right.
But we can't assume everybody just understands what, because you're like, I know the perfect way to say it to make sure. That's not really a guarantee. But that be the
Same.
problem, right? So we be
Not
walking
perfect.
away thinking, no, I did communicate this thing to her, but did you?
Yeah. Did you were they a level? And this is man on woman to be at a level to under. You could be
You cutting out a little bit, brother.
Somebody probably about to call him.
Yeah, you probably got a call.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Back
Yeah.
in. Yep, you good.
Yeah. What I also realize is some people don't put the work in to elevate themselves. So continuing to speak down to other people's level is not necessary neither. So if I didn't communicate the right room because their communication level is lower, then that's fine as well. And that's what me and CJ saying. Eventually we accept the part of some people saying we assholes and some people actually getting it, right? You got to accept that part. Everybody ain't gonna get you the same. So I understand what you're saying.
Okay, but one thing, because again, I could be wrong, but I feel like we're conflating. So are we talking about, when you ask that question, are you talking about, are you speaking from a woman's perspective in terms of dealing with a man, or are you saying in general? Because I think,
I'm speaking more of a man's perspective when we get to a point of saying what we mean and mean when we say. When we get to that point, we understand that regardless of the outcome, regardless of how we say it, how regardless how we acquiesce when we say it, the outcome is normally the same. We accept that fact to saying it how we want to say it because either way it don't matter.
but earlier y'all mentioned keep saying certain things to keep a woman kind of right where you want her, right? So somebody said it earlier, like the relationship is not off the table, but it's not on there either, right?
Yeah.
So y'all admitted that men oftentimes will
Mm.
um intentionally have scenarios set up where there isn't clarity, right? That's what I think.
Yeah.
I
We was
was
talking
kind of
about the
more,
process that we go through. Yeah.
so I was kind of more referring to those situations
Oh,
where
okay.
that's a man not saying what he means and meaning what he says, because he
I
knows,
don't want to be on the big screen, but and I'm hearing music and it's echoing.
he knows, um, he knows that he doesn't want anything intention like exclusive with you, but he knows if he tells you that you'll leave, right? So he won't necessarily says he want it, but he won't say he doesn't either. This is, I think, what the women are more talking about, like stuff like that. Like you guys intentionally like create this gray area because you know what you're doing. That's
Yeah,
not
we
a
can revert
man
back to that.
saying what he means and meaning what he says.
Yeah, we can revert back to that for sure. What I would personally, I mean, anybody else want to say, I don't want to hog it up. Somebody else got something to say.
I mean, y'all still going back and forth.
Okay, yeah, I'll revert back to that part where I was like, I think the ladies were responding. And I would say it was we was more so saying they lied to themselves, right? So like when we say when we talk about that aspect of meaning, when we say like dealing with the woman, man and woman both know they didn't discuss that. They agree on that deal. It could be an unwritten, unspoken deal, right? That man going for the most part stay consistent in that. So when we say we put y'all in the gray area, that's more so. Scan was saying it's the other side where people be like, "Oh, give me three." Where y'all bring it up and then we drag y'all along. Give me 3 more months. I got to do this. Give me 6 more months. I got to do this. I personally don't agree that happens like that often. I personally think that it doesn't get brung up, or if the woman does bring it up, he say, you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We're not making no commitment. We just vibing. We just whatever we is. She might fuss and fight about it. You feel what I'm saying? He carry on. He hit her. She still lets him come over. She hits him. She still comes over. You feel what I'm saying? So when we say and saying what we mean and meaning what we say, like and what we talking about when we say that, I don't think that happens as often as what Scam said, where the dude say 6 more months, I just gotta get a car. 6 more months, I gotta get a house. And if it does, then Scam gonna have to speak on that because
I'm
I don't
saying it
think that
happens.
happens like that.
I'm saying it happens on both sides.
Yeah, I know.
Women
Yeah,
hanging on
I
to
think,
something.
but I think that's on the minority side. I don't think that happened majority of the time though. I
I'm
think
saying
that a deal is
it
happening and
happens.
that women's emotions want to renegotiate that deal. I don't think dudes drag them along. I think they either some dudes end up going for it, and I guess we're not talking about them, but the dudes that don't go for it is like they say no.
This is false. How can you? I'm listening to you. You said
I'm saying they
un.
both have them.
You said unspoken and unwritten agreement. So what agreement?
Yeah, because they just be vibing. They don't really bring up relationship shit. We know that they have sex before they even get to know things about each other. They vibe and they like it and they make it consistent. So it turns into them having sex, chilling, talking on the phone. But they don't never nobody says what they mean or mean, but they say neither one. That's what I was saying in the
I've
very
been in that.
beginning.
Yeah,
That's what Scam was
I've
just
been in that
trying to
situation.
Right.
say.
So, but we talking about men, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm asking why men aren't like. So okay, none of you here who have may have ended up in a situationship like that kind of knew. You started to notice she obviously has feelings for me. She might want something more. You knew that. You took a mental note, but you stayed silent and kept going along, playing dumb because you still wanted to have sex. Nobody here did that.
I
I
didn't play dumb. I
No.
asked.
I haven't.
And I was about to say, this is why I said yes earlier to the questions, because sometimes where we're just
I gotta
vibing.
go out and come back in.
Oh, you,
What were you
but
saying?
sometimes you just like, not like you want a relationship, like y'all both know y'all want a relationship, but like you're not gonna jump into it. So sometimes, like with that expectation, it's like you go along with it, and then sometimes you have to check back in to see where y'all both is at. And if y'all both aren't on the same page, like for me personally, I'll walk away. So that's why I said yes, but it's under like certain, like we have to bring some stuff back up to the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the solution to all of the nuances of mean what you say what you mean. I think that just more clear communication. Period. And I think that there is a middle ground in between CJ saying I'm gonna come off like an asshole and then also pandering. Like I do think there's a sweet spot there, and I think Venus alluded to, and I think Scam said it about the effective communication part. But I also think that to the men's point, because I don't want to move past that too quickly. There are people that will purposely misunderstand you because with that understanding comes a responsibility of what the new information is. So a lot of people they'll crutch on misunderstanding to act like they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I think that that's what they're talking to, the frustration of um, I've said it effectively, I've said it assertively, I haven't even been an asshole about it, but you are still choosing to misinterpret or to misunderstand or to feel what my answer was to you versus hearing what I said to you. So I think that y'all were speaking on two different scenarios, but I see how both can happen.
Yeah. I'll just say this. If it's a woman and it's in a relationship and she's going to take it a certain way, then that is just who you got. That's who she is. You can deliver it effective. You can pander. I just had to say it's on the table. You can say reckless. But if that's the woman you got, you're better off trying to speak the best way you want to speak. You speaking to her the best way possible, just like you want her to speak to you the best way possible.
That's fair.
I can't say what is because it's the woman that you say you know. It's the woman that you want. It's the woman that you chose. Yeah. But with every way that you speak, there's going to be a response. A, B, or C are three different options.
That's fair.
And you don't get to determine what response you get. You only can determine what you say and expect what you may get back.
That is fair. And that's why I think that, like you said, all three scenarios of, if I'm just say it plainly, I'm going to say it effectively, or hell, even the option of pandering, they're all options that men use depending on the archetype of man you are or who the fuck you dealing with. So I think that is the level set, is that all three happen with different outcomes depending upon who you're with, to kind of put a nice bow on it. We still got 8 more questions.
Yeah, it's both sides
Keep
of that
going,
too.
man. Keep going.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
There's both sides to that too, because men be one or the other depending on what women they dealing with too, and it's wrong reasons of why they do that, because then they doing it for the the coochie. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to a point where you don't do it for the coochie, you'll realize way less women like you, and when you like way less women. You feel what I'm saying? When you think about it outside the coochie, that's another problem. Like dudes will either pander, be assertive, be assertive, depending on what woman they're doing with because of the vagina. You feel what I'm saying?
That's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? So that's so to actually get like why dudes don't do that is because that it is because of the vagina to answer it like based on how the question in the show. But I think what dudes need to realize with that what dudes don't be ready for is they know that whatever archetype of a dude you may be is like based on ratio, it's plenty of women that'll fit your shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's still gonna be way less depending on what type of archetype of the nigga you is. You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Bino, you done call that thing 3 different things a day. You know what?
What'd you say? I ain't hear you.
I said you done call that thing 3 different things a day.
That thing?
You done went from vagina, pussy, coochie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the raw bunch we love.
It's all of them though, you know. I'm trying not to use less provocative language, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so like the dude, that's why dudes do it to the ladies too, for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
No, all things are happening. No. All the things that are mentioning, all scenarios, yes, they are happening.
yeah,
they're all happening.
Yeah.
A dude that had 3 different women that had 3 different versions of him.
That's fair.
Well, that's a good segue into your next question down there. These damn double lies.
Yeah. Cause all right. Now this question was framed to us by Kiki. She had to get off the panel. So again, all of these questions are a concoction of Brittany and Kiki's brain and Ivana. So I need y'all to, so I'm gonna just ask the question and somebody answer this. Men who live a double life, do they hate themselves? Go.
I don't think they hate themselves. I think they more so hate how society views whichever side they keep hitting.
I say no to them hating themselves. That's a female talking point. Hate yourself. But lack of integrity, lack of discipline. Society. And society doesn't exist. Society is a collective of out of control people going anywhere and spinning in circles with no opinion, no consistency.
Okay.
So I don't know what their standards are.
Javon, I'm not giving clarity. If that's your question, I know I'm not giving any clarity.
Oh no.
Okay. I saw you do that.
No, because it's just more so because you already got 2 no, not hating themselves, but what about the situation that they're in?
I could probably answer that.
What you
Meaning,
got,
if
Mel?
you're a mad man that you ain't getting no buns, you probably hate the situation that you're in.
If I'm living a double life, half the time I don't want people to know what I'm actually doing, or I could just be in my bag for real. Because look at this, probably make it more easier. Look at Batman. He living a double life. Look at Superman, double life. Flash.
No, you know, doggone well when you talking about them folks.
Yeah, but you get the point though.
I know, I get it. Out of all of them, the one that made the most sense would have been the Batman.
Flipped it.
All of them make sense.
All of them make sense because I get his framing is that it ain't even that he hates himself for it. He separates the 2 lives because when he want to get in that bag, he's in that bag. When he don't want to be that, he's in the other one. So I think Mel's point was more about indulging versus hating yourself for the indulgence of having a double life. Does that make sense?
So that does make sense, but I want to say the ladies may have been saying that more so for us relationship wise and not your daily life wise of you as a man maneuver, if it makes sense.
In one relationship, he Clark Kent. In the other relationship, he's Superman.
But it's still the same
She just
man.
mad because she can't get the Superman out of him.
But not when they're talking about what they're doing for society, what are they doing in a relationship?
But the question is, has he even told her what to do to help get Kent out or the other person out? CJ said that she's mad that she can't get Superman out of him. I said, have they communicated and say these things need to happen for this person to show up?
Want to know why, Brittany?
Because if you're going that route, on the way that Superman showed up when he see the fuck, or Batman could see the fucking bat symbol. That's when his ass showed the fuck up. So that's what I'm saying. Have you told her the sign for her to show up?
Let Mel answer before you bite your tongue, Brittany.
But for Superman, he has villains. He's trying to protect you from his villains. He can get to through her through the villain can get through her. Well, damn. How can I
Yeah.
say it? No. I got it.
Let him cook.
No, the villains can get to him through her. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. Cause that's pretty much his weakness. If the
But
villain can get
ain't none
to
of these niggas superheroes, okay? So
that's
let's bring
but
it back to
you
the real
get y'all get the
shit.
point.
No, I didn't because the point is like CJ said, one person can get this same from this energy out of him, and then the other person getting this. You're trying to equate something different. I get what you're saying, but what do I need to do so I can get this man and they can be shoot one? Okay, that's
But
what I
you
want to
have but all be all you actually have them though. That's the thing.
But
If
then
you
you
really
don't be
think
going
about
over
it.
there giving it to Bonnie and Susan then. Give it to me.
That's fair. Hey, Brittany, when you get a chance, can you pop out and come back in? You're borging a little bit in between. Maybe change your mic settings at first, but it's kind of borging and giving a little bit of feedback.
All right.
I was gonna let the back.
They go back to what Scam really said. Honestly, man, it's lack of integrity and value in that relationship, or value in the woman that's in the relationship. I think I kind of want to say it's lack of integrity dealing with a relationship, right? And it's integrity, period. But especially with, I think dudes lack integrity when it comes to relationship. A dude gotta be integrity. A lot of things when it comes to relationship, it's like that shit go out the window. Lack of discipline and shit like that, because it really be like that double life shit really probably be like on some, one is a guilty pleasure, one is a responsibility. Like for the most part, like I think unless two dudes is like really like like a father in two households or managing two households and one and the other don't know, that's like old times, I guess.
Seem like it.
But like as far as like the modern times, what we talking about, it seemed like more so like the side chick vibe. Like think about, I don't want to put it on the chicks, but it's like, like chicks be cool with it, so dudes get away with having a double life.
I actually PG this question a lot.
I feel
like how
like
you
this
framed
question got everything to do with a nigga probably fucking other niggas as his double life. That's what I think this shit is.
We talking about that?
That's what I thought it was because
That's
I'm
what now that I'm really sitting here just thinking about it, because I'm thinking responding as a man, but now that I'm thinking about like these questions was made by women, I'm thinking that a man living a double life, when a woman's asking this and then she says, do they hate themselves? To me, that's a man. You're thinking about a man that his double life is him actually being gay, and
I
that
wasn't
double
even
life
paying
is
attention
claiming
to
that he
hating
hates that
themselves.
part.
I'm thinking like one, he got a wife and a side chick. Like I want a simple shit.
No, he got a wife and kids, but he's fucking a nigga behind the scenes. That's what I think this question is
I couldn't
about.
answer that shit. Yeah, they hate themselves. You're fucking right, they hate themselves.
If you talking about in that type of scenario, of course he hates himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're the people to answer that question.
None of us are here to answer that. Just
They have
based off of
gay
that.
panels. They have even gay dust panels. You might want to ask that question over there.
We needed more context.
I do have a
there you go, clarity.
I don't want the other context.
I have a question though. Do y'all think most people, like outside of like the LGBT setting, do y'all think most people can handle a double life? Or
no, I don't
I'll be on mute.
You said, do I think most people can or can't handle a double life?
Can handle it.
Can?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think most people can handle a double life, because I'm pretty sure I think most people have tried at least once, but I don't think most can manage it. Otherwise, they would keep doing it for as long as they can, and most people don't. They eventually have they probably make an attempt for it, and either they go back to the original one and say fuck that other one, that was too much, or they eventually fall off of the first one and go to the second one. And now that's the life. It's not like them staying in between the two and bouncing back and forth all the damn time. I think most people try it, but I don't think most people maintain that shit.
Hell no, most dudes, obviously we talking about men. Hell no, most men can't pull it off because you can't afford it. Like most men can't handle a single family household. So when we talk about a double life and that shit, damn, hell no, most men can't handle both because that shit is costly. You
And
feel what I'm
draining
saying?
probably.
That shit costly. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. To do that double life shit, you got to be able to have a whole scheme for your day shift and be home by the time you 6. So if what you doing from 9 to 5, you can't be at work. You got to be at one of them upper echelon niggas that got some free time. How he get his money? Like you know how this shit go. Motherfuckers that be in the streets and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Or even a motherfucker that just, you know what I'm saying, one of them CEO businessman type of vibes. But whether that the street dude is the bottom, the top CEO businessman is the top, and in between, niggas, you can't handle no double. Niggas can't handle no double life. A regular
Okay.
man can't handle no double life.
Next question. Let's keep it rolling. We're gonna go straight down the panel. Start to my right, and we'll snake around all the way down. This is a question. We'll start with Venus, then we'll go Giovanna, Scam, CJ, Bino, Saw, Mel, and Brittany. Venus, you with us?
Yeah.
All right. So the question to you is, why do men demand so much loyalty but can't give it at the same level? Why do you think that happens?
Selfishness. Also, not viewing women as equal, right? So if you don't view women as equal, then why would you think they deserve what you deserve? They're not equal to you. They're beneath you, so they deserve less than you.
Damn. Okay. Giovanna, why do you think this happens? Why do men demand loyalty they can't give?
I don't think it's that they can't give it. I feel like they can. They just choose not to.
Oh,
Why not?
Because they're still some may still be looking at other opportunities that they may have.
Okay.
So if they have multiple opportunities. So they have multiple opportunities or whatever, then they may not put all that same loyalty. They're probably not gonna give you that same loyalty that they're expected of you. Because they still have options, so to say.
Okay. Scam, what you got?
Wait, Strata, I have one more.
What's up?
I think women are, for the most part, expected to endure. Like even women and men look at women like that, right? Especially black women. I don't know about other groups, but black women specifically are kind of expected to endure extreme circumstances and still do what you're supposed to do. Like we're almost brought up to expect to be treated poorly while still bringing your best foot forward. So uh, if men are looking at women like that, that's the expectation. So like, why would I have to be loyal to you when historically I've seen that you don't require loyalty for me to get everything I need out of you? So why would I give it to you?
Okay. I see what you're saying. The double expectation means that loyalty isn't on the table to be even given, is what you're saying?
When has it been a requirement
Gotcha.
for women? Like if because people will reference their mom, like, well, my mother did this and this, or my grandmother did this and this, and what was grandfather doing? Had a family up the street, beating her ass, all type of shit, right? But they'll still compare you to that woman who dealt with all that fucked up shit. Why will they do that? Because the
Okay.
expectation is you should be doing the same.
Got you. Okay. I needed that example. That framed it properly. I see what you're saying now. Scam, what you got? Why do men demand so much loyalty but can't give it at the same level?
A lot of it is fear based. A lot of dudes demand loyalty, just like the people, you need to stay because of duty. They're scared she's gonna leave. They're scared for her to go. Why do they not hold the standard? Because they're hanging on to the one that they got, chasing the one that they want, but they're still scared to let that one get away.
Fear. Okay.
And that's more on the greed side. But
Ah,
most of the loyalty conversation that a lot of men expect from women is fear based and not love based.
got you. CJ, what you got, brother?
Why do men demand so much loyalty but can't give it at the same level? You know what? I ain't got an answer for you because I feel like I'm gonna go on a whole rant and sound like a complete
Yeah.
asshole. Y'all got it. I feel like I'm gonna get irritated trying to answer that question because that shit just. I
Okay. Bino, why do men demand so much loyalty but can't give it at the same level?
Why do men, man? I don't want to do shit because I feel like I'm nah. Hey, look, nah. I'm gonna do it. You should ask me first because that way CJ would be left. But God damn it, you should wait. God damn it, because I feel like.
that shit don't make
All
sense,
right,
man.
It
I'm gonna
really
give up
don't.
something good for y'all, man. It's some honesty to it, and I'm just speaking in men in general. Probably like, all right. So women probably, I think most men. All right. So first of all, I think women are probably like the most prized possessions to man, but I think we was taught how to take care of material things better than we was taught how to like I guess I don't want to say take care because I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like take care of that greatest prized possession, greatest gift to man, whatever is women, right? You get taught to clean your shoes better, you get taught make your bed, all types of shit before you might got taught to that, your most prized possession. Like you gotta think about it, like a nigga, you could smack the shit out of a nigga and take his car and he probably won't retaliate. You feel what I'm saying? But let him touch your shorty. Let you touch his shorty. Let him catch you with his shorty. He gonna crash out.
That's a
Like,
fact.
dude, the dude that just took your car 2 weeks ago, you was like, you seen him? Or the dude that smacked the shit out of you because your mouth, you was running your mouth at this corner store. You ain't even retaliate, but you done caught dude talking to your shorty and you wild out. You feel me? So it's like, I think dudes look at they women like possessions. And like I think it like kind of like scams say, like the fear of losing that possession, you'll lose your car, you'll lose your house. Like niggas will lose money before they lose their shorty.
Okay.
But at the same time, they don't want so that same possession that you want to have, like loyalty for you, like you know what I'm saying? You don't move as such. So you mishandling that gift. So when you get in that fast car, you pushing it 0 to 100. You feel what I'm saying? You fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I
Yeah.
just think it's undisciplined. I think it's malnurtured, malnourished. You know what I'm saying? Of how like you feel what I'm saying? Especially in our culture, like our whole culture represent like mishandling them. When you think about it, from our music, and it ain't just started from our music to the movies. Like it's the matrix that we was born into, and once you unlearn that shit, you'll realize what the really fuck going on, and you really can't point. We can be accountable and be responsible for our actions once we know better. But until then, it's almost like set up to be that way.
That makes sense. I like it. I like it. So let's go. That's fire, actually. Let's go. Mel, Saud, and then Brittany. Mel, why do men demand so much loyalty they can't keep at the same level?
Honestly, I can't really answer it, but the first thing that come to mind is you give out you get out what you put in. That's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
I like that. I like the way you frame that.
Because if I
Can't get what I don't have, so to speak.
pretty much like if I'm showing you loyalty and I'm not getting anything back, I'm like, damn, what's going on? It's gonna make me want to venture out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is we're under the perception that we're given the loyalty. Once we feel like it's not reciprocated, then we pull back. But from the woman's perspective, it looks like we're not giving them the loyalty that at the same level, because you're saying that there's a miscommunication on how we're judging loyalty.
That too, and like, remember we go by actions. I
Oh,
could tell
okay.
you, I could tell you anything, but if I'm not putting action towards it, it don't mean nothing. Like I could say I love somebody, but don't show it.
I got it. That makes sense. I like that. I like that. Let's go, Saud, and then Brittany.
I'm not sure. I guess because like I feel like y'all just expect us to be loyal. Like that's just our. I feel like y'all think it's our nature when like men have the leeway to be like more free and really have no expectations. And when they do get the expectation, it's like a token, like, oh look, I finally was able to be loyal, so you should respect me 10 times more.
Okay. Brittany, what you got?
You on mute.
She in the earpiece or something?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
She might have to go down and come back.
Yeah.
How about now?
There you go.
There you go. There you good.
All right. So I was saying I was going along with what Venus had said initially when she said selfishness. I think that kind of leads it as far as like always demanding the female like be loyal to me, but you sometimes not saying all men are not the same. They got somebody on the side or whatnot. But I feel like the reason why they do that loyalty piece because they know once we are loyal, we hooked. You know what I'm saying? And then we accept a whole lot of shit that we wouldn't because we being loyal to this man that we know probably don't deserve none of it, but we have again we hooked. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where all that shit comes from. Yeah, you can shake your motherfucking head all you want to, CJ, but that's what it is.
She wanted a response out of me. I shook my head for 0.2 seconds, and she instantly how you want to see. She said it in the sentence of her explaining herself. No, nigga, you was looking at me waiting for a reaction.
You don't put them shades. Look, I'm gonna tell you, you put them shades. I said, okay, in the beginning, okay, CJ is on a whole new way. He gonna let us see his eyes. If you tell me, telling people don't put them shades on. He about to go in demon mode. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Turn him up.
This shit's stupid.
Explain to me why. And what is stupid?
Man, what's that question again, man? These motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, so based on the ladies want to know why do men demand so much loyalty but can't give it at the same level?
Because for one, their version of loyalty and our version of loyalties ain't the same.
Okay,
their version of loyalty is I didn't fuck no niggas, so you shouldn't be fucking no bitches. That's not the same loyalty. Our loyalty, for like 3.9 seconds, scam, come off camera. So for when it comes to this loyalty shit, like most motherfuckers, if a dude's in a relationship with a woman, right, his loyalty is probably the main thing that she's requesting or demanding, which usually is resources. So if he's only giving his resources, his money, finances, all the other crap to only her, that's a lot of dudes' versions of loyalty because he's only giving his resources to her. What is his main resource, right? Her being only for him. No other person is touching her. So the moment she does that, guess what? The loyalty is out the window for some dudes. A lot of dudes, in all honesty. But it let her just, I gave $20 to a nigga. He gonna question her, but he ain't about to shut her down. But let him find out that she fucked him though. What happens?
Oh Lord.
That shit it is over. But see, look, her, but it's not the same. So it's like it's the sexual thing for us with loyalty, while it's the resources for the man. So if she fucks a man, odds are she getting shut down, party over. But if he fucks a woman, more than not, there's more women that'll stay with the man that cheated because that wasn't the priority of loyalty to her. What was it? The resources. But I've more times than not from the women I've been cool with, a lot of times they'll shut shit down because he was giving out money to them other bitches. He was over here splurging on other bitches. Notice what they're talking about. It's because he was throwing out his money, his finances, his resources to another woman, not her. They don't like that shit. It's not, the loyalty for one isn't the same on each side. At least not what's considered number one priority of loyalty.
What you got, Scam?
I'm just calling dust. Somehow, the only time I ever heard that resources versus whatever is on Fresh and Fit. 4 or 5 times I ever heard that. There's some myth that came out in 1926 that women date for resources. It's the biggest lie out there. Resources might be 5 to 10% of the real conversation. Those who date for resources, how does that really turn out? And to be honest, those who are dating for resources, they know the dude's tricking off money. That's why they came to him. So they know he's not only tricking off money, but tricking off with 4 other chicks. So yeah, they're mad, but they usually stay so they can get more resources out of the same dude.
Okay. So you're saying a resources conversation is more of a hypothetical than real life?
Go cheat on your girl and see how long she's there.
She's there.
Or
I literally just said that. Stop, like I don't understand when he makes these statements as if I'm telling you, majority of the time, most women have been cheated on and they stayed.
Okay,
most
resources might be emotionally tied. A lot of people,
she damn sure didn't stay because she just loved him. The nigga had resources. If he was a bum, put it this way: if she was the breadwinner, the big banger in that relationship, and he cheated on her, she dropping that nigga. Why? He ain't got no resources or nothing that matters to her anyway. But if he was the nigga that had the resources, if he was the nigga that had the resources, if he was the overall breadwinner in that household, and he cheated, she don't get mad, she don't get upset. That makes sense. But did she leave? Odds are no.
She may not leave right now, but she's gonna leave.
And listen to what you are saying. She may not leave right now. When she leaving? 6 months after what? After she collects some of his resources?
That's just
the man. 9 out of 10. If she cheats, the shit's over. It's dead.
All the resources do is just spend it so she can get the attorney involved and then get up.
I don't care how y'all trying to word this. At the end of the day, you're not knocking down nothing I'm saying. It's still the resources. If you're telling me that she might not leave right now, but she leaving, why the hell is she staying? What's she staying for?
Well, CJ said it's the resources.
No, because he has resources that she's collecting.
But CJ, to your point, because they're gonna try to argue, his resources and that emotional connection. Where he's saying it definitely ain't just that emotional connection.
Yeah, because once you're not fixing the emotional connection, the only thing is the resources, and then we want to
either way.
Right,
either way, the resources. You're not arguing against me. Then the resources.
If there's no connection, then that means she's only dating the resources. I mean, the relationship has been over.
Resources.
It's just a matter of time.
So what if it was her though? What if it was her? Maybe what if that woman was the breadwinner, that man in the rebuild cycle? Do y'all think he'd probably be more loyal to her then?
Huh?
Hold on, what?
You said no?
No, I don't even know what you said.
Say that again.
If she the breadwinner, would he be more loyal?
Yeah, if she made more money, would he be more loyal?
No.
But no, I'm talking about if she's like carrying the household for the most part. And that man, he's in that rebuild cycle or whatever. Or he's just still gonna dog out.
His loyalty is not contingent upon the same things.
Hey, I got homies that have definitely been with women that made way more money than them. They still cheated on them.
Yeah.
They still did it.
That happens,
Nothing changed.
Yeah, I'll say this. If two people don't like each other and that ain't the person that this man or this woman wants, it's a matter of time before somebody. If you put money on the table, they'll take the money while he's at work. She's gonna have Slick Jimmy up the street. She might get caught, she might not. If it's a dude with dating a chick, just like in Atlanta in the suburbs, very common. She's a high-powered attorney or nurse or something. He's driving her car in the daytime, picking up other chicks, coming home, and they dealing with each other when she get home.
Yeah,
but if they don't like each other, the days are numbered.
That makes sense.
The emotional connection is 3, 4, 5 times stronger than the resources. And most people ain't got all these resources we talking about no way.
That's fair.
The man works 3 cubicles down from the woman, or she works in the building across the street.
I think that like you said, the common thread in all of the explanations and reasoning is that there's a double standard and we have different perceptions of what loyalty is. So when we feel betrayed by said loyalty because it's not expressed the way we want it to, it can cause a knee-jerk reaction. Chemistry has to be there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of the middle ground of framing. I do want to get to this next question. I got one more after this one. So, ladies, we're going to get the fellas to go first. CJ.
What's up?
Why do men hate official titles? And if y'all don't tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth.
Why do men hate official titles? Because I feel like either you or me or we are not in the correct conditions to have whatever title that is. That's what I feel. If it's a
I got one.
situationship, then that's what we in. If we fuck buddies, that's what we in because we're doing certain things that fit that criteria. But if you talking about some, what are we? Which obviously it only means one thing. You want us to be officially a couple. We're not because we don't even talk about other shit outside of just hey, we linking up to fuck. So how can we even go to the route of being a couple if we don't even talk about shit outside that? So it's literally because me and you, either me, you, or both, don't fit the criteria of certain titles, and it'd be the titles that you want that we literally don't fit.
Like it.
That's one, and I think that's one. But he just whatever he fucking with the vagina or whatever. I think a lot of the majority of the reasons is probably because shop closed once you commit. Shop closed, niggas be wanting to have their options open, and niggas still be wanting to fuck on other shit.
Yep. Male. Why do men hate official titles?
Because things change. The reason why I say that, that's just like the girlfriend to the wife. Like, girlfriend, let's talk about sex because it's easier. Y'all can do it 3 to 4 times. Now it's 1 time to 2 times a month. After a while, it's not the same. Although it was pretty much the same before y'all got married.
So things change, which is why the title. Okay. Scam, what you got?
A combination with CJ and Bino said, on point. Or at least solid men, they go for what they want, and they'll slap a label on it.
Yep.
That's my car. That's my job. This is what I do. This is where I'm going. They go for what they want. Like move cross country, save up money, fight in the club, whatever it takes to get what they really want. And they want it to be theirs. So if not, something must be wrong with the terms and conditions. Over 50%, exactly what CJ and Bino said. Probably 70, 80%. Small percentage, fear. Because once you claim that title, now you got to be what you said you're about.
That
and
part.
if it's jucking and jiving, you still want to play around, or I don't know, the court gonna get me, the white man gonna, if it's some shaky stuff, they're gonna be comfortable in shaky zone.
Man, we hate official titles because we didn't want you to ask us about this title to begin with. You weren't it.
Yeah.
Hey, Strata, question.
What's up?
Let that have been Halle Berry in her prime. Let that be
right.
Let that be Angel Reese.
Come on, bro.
Dudes would be like, "Oh, where you going, baby? I gotta go. I gotta play a PPA game." No, you don't. Let's talk about this title.
Yo,
what are we?
Yo, that what are we question? If you gotta ask, you ain't it. You should not be asking that. If you have to ask, what are we? You ain't it. Whatever it is you think y'all are, you ain't it.
So what are we? Where is this going?
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing?
All of that. Where's we going?
Right now, we about to hop in the shower because we just finished being nasty.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell you, like, if you gotta ask, it's too far gone. Ladies, here's a life advice. As an opposed to frame it as a question to him, come to him and tell him what you want. Hey, I would like a relationship with you. Is that possible? Yes or no?
Nah.
No, I'm gonna tell you why you do that. Because now you make it so that what you really, because let's keep it real. All these questions, that's what you're pretty much saying. I want to be with you. Do you want to be with me? Y'all have real slick ways of asking questions to try to tease information out versus being direct. We talking about something like relationships and marriage and shit. No, be more direct with your questioning.
Open. And that's why I said earlier, bro. They got to step up and say something, because 9 times out of 10, when a dude is even in a situation where he want a shorty, but he don't put the title on it like Scam say, it's because when they first chopping it up, they say they just vibing, they just chilling. That's what they say to each other. You feel what I'm saying?
And y'all talk.
So the dude gonna rock out because shorty basically say she not looking for nothing serious. She just vibing. She ain't looking for nothing serious right now. And then he coming across. In her mind, she would take it serious with him, but she don't. But that don't happen with Strata say. So it's not more so of him. You know what I'm saying? Like you got those situations too, is what I'm saying. So
But then y'all got these other situations where y'all told us one time before, don't scare the dude away. Y'all up here saying, well, I want a relationship, I want to get married, I want kids, I want this. Y'all like, damn, y'all gonna scare the nigga away before he even want to be a part or want to deal with you. So what the fuck are we supposed to do?
right. So we're
got
talking
you,
about
Brittany.
down the line. As you realize, we're talking about
Jesus.
down the line.
Y'all be
We talking about down the
that shit
line.
after
Check,
y'all
Brittany.
go to the movies to see Lilo and Stitch. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
we talking about down the
goddamn.
line. You feel what I'm saying? Where if y'all
Hey,
think
Britt,
that
you know,
that move that change, do what Strata say, like.
yeah.
Do y'all trying
Yo.
to make this relationship a hot pocket or a pot roast? Like, goddamn.
It could
But
be
this
a
what
while.
it
It could
is,
be a
though,
long
Britt.
time.
Don't even waste my time. I can go to Lido and Stitch with somebody who really want to be with me. Fuck it all.
Yeah, but you know what? And that's that delusional bullshit. I got options when you don't. All right. So you need to talk to that motherfucker that you clearly engaged with and learn some shit.
It's because they getting everything that they want without the title of it. You hold back on some women start holding back on some stuff that's wifey material, for that longevity or whatever else that they need for family fulfillment. They getting it for free.
That's a narrative.
So
Hey,
boy.
Giovanna.
Yep.
Yes,
Giovanna.
sir. How you doing?
Talking to him like he was an old ass man. Yes, sir. How you doing?
Nah, if that's the woman he wants, the vagina could be mediocre. He could get it once every 7, 9, 14 days. He's going to ask for a relationship if that's the woman he wants.
Right,
if it's not the woman he wants, she could be taking the vagina off, stuffing it down his forehead, doing backflips on the meat, everything. While he's busting, he's going to be putting one of his shoes on walking out the door because it ain't the woman he wants. That's just what it is.
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you, Mr. Man.
Yeah, the Estrada was saying, yes, it's good to ask for a relationship and be clear on what you want. But on both sides, as a dude, yeah, you meet the woman. Yeah, the woman says she's reading a script. I want a church-going, God-fearing man. She lying. 7 days later, you see who she really is, and it was a lie.
Damn.
Or the dude, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship, a quality woman. He lying. And a friend of mine told me this when I was in my 20s. I think I said it on the panel before.
How old is you?
He said, I'm old.
I'm joking.
I'm ancient. But I was talking about how, because I'm a quality man, I can get these type of women. And you got to deal with these. He's like, I can get better type of women than you think I can. Because I can pretend to be you long enough to get what it is that I want.
Damn.
And he was telling the truth. So you want a relationship? Sure. Here you go. Here's your relationship for 3 weeks.
Right. No, so I've heard of that too as well. But what's crazy is, so I was in before I was engaged, it was a relationship, and it was just going. No, it was going, and it was just like,
Rita's supposed to be.
No, it was going the way it was supposed to be going. Well, whatever it was that was before the relationship, it was going, and it was just like, I don't ask the question, why are we not in a relationship or blase blase, but it was told to me that, oh, you got to ask for the relationship because I got to ask you to marry me. I said, boy, what kind of Chicago stuff you got going on? like, no, I'm not asking you for anything. Like, if I'm the person that you want to be with, and it's crazy that people's mindsets are a little bit different in that aspect, and they kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, why I got to ask you for a relationship just because you're going to ask me to marry you? Like,
that was some good ass game. Ain't gonna lie, you got hit with one of them shot count. That's a shot town stepper. Bruh hit you with the that.
Hey, I'm over here thinking like, damn. It got me spinning a little bit. I like it. Kind of makes sense a little bit, man.
I'm not going. Hey, look. I don't know who you right now, but no, this ain't it, bro.
Hey, listen, that was
different. That's different.
From the Mac. That's some Mac shit right there.
Yeah, that was different.
He different. But let's just keep it tall, man. I think that it's okay. Like, this is what I think we get caught up at. You meet somebody and you have an initial intention. The intention can change, right? But I think we don't do enough check-ins as we're progressing through shit. And I think that you have to be honest and consistent with it all. Meaning, yeah, we might have just started as cut buddies. That's cool. The moment you start catching feelings and you need to change the deal, we got to talk about that right then. But if you're the one that is having the flinch, you don't get to ask the question because it's too passive. anybody that wants to ask the question that way, you're being too passive about what it is you already know. So it's almost like asking questions that you already have an answer to is a wasted question to me. It becomes rhetorical, and it's almost like you're gauging something that you being unsure can lead to some fucked up scenarios. Meaning, if you're a guy and you really feeling this shorty, and let's say y'all started casual, you're like, "Oh, I really like her like that." Tell her. If you're a girl, y'all casually have sex, like, "Yo, I really want him to be my dude." Tell him, because what I think what happens is we spend so much time living in gray for so frequently that when things are supposed to be black and white, we just don't want to make it that, because we love the lie. We love the delusion of each other. We love to be deluded with not having to be committed to anything until you don't like it.
So when you say take it back to school, want to be my girlfriend? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes or no,
I
bro.
was thinking that.
Dead ass, bro. Like, bro, sometimes, man, simple is better, dog. I think we have gotten so far away from that, bro. Like, just being honest. And it ain't a way to do it the way you rule. Like, there's a way to, approach the conversation. But I just think that whole, well, what are we now? I think when every dude hear that, he knows what the girl trying to say. And I think that we let y'all get that off for so long, y'all think that shit actually works. It don't. It never has. He had to answer before you asked him, honestly.
Yeah. What are we now? Where are we going?
We know what that means.
Like, I mean, we know what they trying to hint to, but it's like, I guess you can say we know, but it's like, what we mean? We going? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
and I ain't gonna lie, like, there are exceptions to the rule, but I think when most men
going to the movies, that's at 9.
Yeah, we go. But here's the thing. I think here's another Jew for the ladies. When a man is filling you out before he even states his intention, I think he's had enough time to think about you to figure out where he is in life and where you would fit into that. So if a dude tell you we just chilling, believe him when he tell you we just chilling. Like, we just chilling. I think that we spend so much time screaming at each other who we actually are, we don't listen. If you know you serious, why are you dealing with somebody that casual? On either side. If I'm looking for marriage, what I'm not finna do is date a girl to say, I mean, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm just chilling right now. I'm not chilling right now. I'm trying to find a wife.
Hey, Strutter.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like, okay, two people meet, they kind of vibing and doing whatever. He knocks it down. They watch the movie, they do whatever. Then she likes him. Like, is there a phase where, okay, let's have the first couple conversation. Then after that cutoff, either break or dangle around or whatever. So you're more talking about the people who keep stringing and hanging around for 6, 7 weeks and all on internet and going through the phone. You're talking about those.
Yep. They're living the great purposely. It's like that.
So there is maybe a 2-week to 1 month grace period.
Yeah, you get that because we're still trying to figure
go over there. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, that what are we, man? I think that is a trick bag that women put themselves in, and most men are gonna answer just as stupid as you ask the question. They're like, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and they're gonna make you explain it and say it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this though, right? To be fair, right, for the fellas, right? I will say for the fellas, like if you done dealt with a shorty consistent enough where she asked those questions of you, those roundabout questions, that means you probably been spending a lot of time with her amongst other things, and probably at a pretty consistent pace. So I would tell dudes, don't even straddle the fence. Don't even straddle the fence on that, right? Because obviously you like her enough for her to to be dealing with her that much. Like, don't even straddle the fence, because this shit is definitely an illusion out here. You feel what I'm saying? The illusion of options, the illusion of I can get something better, which you probably can, but if it's something where, I mean, when you think of better, you're probably thinking of it in the wrong way. You feel what I'm saying? When you think of better, you're probably thinking of the physical aspect more than likely, if anything, right? Because like I say, if you able to deal with it long enough for whatever reason, y'all probably can keep working on it with commitment, because y'all already consistent. And that's all commitment is, a consistent, steady thing. That's dedicated to, you know what I'm saying, that's agreed upon. Like, so niggas really be doing that because the illusion of options. The illusion of having to, you know what I'm saying, do the same thing over and over and over again. But it's a trick bag for dudes too, just like women, because you already doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I give
you
you one
already
better than
doing
that,
it.
Bino.
So, and if you still that dude that's not sure, because you need more time, because women will be ready to do that shit within the first 3 months, 2 months, 6 months. Tell her, like, that's too fast. Like, put a date on it as a man. You feel what I'm saying? And
like
they can agree upon that. Like, you know what I'm
and
saying?
you know what, Bino? I think that on that, before we even get to the point to where we got to put a date on it, I think that we need to slow down that question at the beginning. Meaning, when you say your intentions and I say mine, we got to know what that looks like. My chilling might not be your chilling. You feel what I'm saying? Me casually having sex with you, I might have a different expectation than you have of me, right? So I think that whatever the hell y'all agree on, make sure that y'all are saying and thinking the same thing, because I think a lot of times we assume that people know exactly what we mean when we say words. And you know, you can go from region to region and phrases change, right? That's my little yeah don't mean the same thing everywhere you go. We cool and don't mean the same way. Like literally, you can go from a state to another state and the context is completely thrown to hell. And we're talking about same gender. So I think that whatever the hell y'all decide to be, make sure that there's an understanding of what it is and what it ain't. If it grows into something better, acknowledge that shit and deal with it as it progresses through the stages of whatever y'all got going on. But I think we don't do a good enough job of making sure that everybody leaves with the same understanding, which is why shit can get wires crossed, because we don't do that well enough. Period. I just don't think we do. I do have one more question for y'all. I can see the tide in y'all face. This is a Monday.
No, let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
You know, I
tired.
see y'all kind of.
I feel dust coming.
Yeah, hey man,
You
Scam.
living a
These
dust storm. I ain't
Scam.
talking
Let me tell you this, Scam. On Thursday, you gonna love it, because Thursday show is where we doing this mirror work. We done went. So part 3 is now we looking in the mirror, but we gotta get through the show first. Again, make sure y'all tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. We coming back with some mirror work. So last question: do men even want to be in a relationship, or just the benefits of one? Anybody?
The fuck is the benefits?
Both.
Say what, Scam?
What
the fuck is the benefits?
Men who want relationships, like solid men, they want actual relationships. A lot of the rest of them want, like the fear base, they want a concept of a relationship. They just don't want somebody to leave. The ones who want to play want the concept. They just want the benefits. And the rest of them, the ones that's yelling mad at women, I don't know what they want. And like trying
we still trying to figure that out, bro. We still trying
to.
We're trying to sort through that now.
I'm still trying to figure out what the benefits is.
They probably talk about exclusive sexual access. Let's go with that, CJ.
And family.
Exclusive sexual access would be the benefits. So do you think men want relationships or just exclusive sexual access to the woman?
I'm just gonna say majority of men want relationships. It's just hell at that time. If you ain't the lady, you ain't the lady. Enjoy the ride, lady, until it's time for you to get the fuck off.
Damn.
So CJ, you said the benefits. What, in your perspective, what is the benefits that a woman brings to a relationship that's worthy of CJ?
That's worthy of CJ. What are the benefits?
That the woman's supposed to...
What am I getting out of being with this woman?
Yes. What are you getting? What are the benefits of that woman that you're getting?
That's why I'm the one to ask the question first.
So you don't get no benefits. So you have a woman that you said that you want to be in a relationship with. That woman not giving you any benefits?
I can't think of what is considered benefits. Like if we look up the definition of benefits, me personally, if we're just talking off a relationship basis, not marriage, because obviously marriage goes through its whole government version of benefits. But we're just talking about off a relationship basis. I personally cannot just name off the top of my head what I'm literally benefiting from being in the relationship. Now, me choosing to be with this woman, yeah, it's cool to vibe with this individual woman and have all the fun and whatever, get to know each other. But that's just me doing all the stuff I need to mind things out in the hopes of a marriage where the actual legal benefits is there. You see what I'm saying? But when I'm thinking about just in a relationship, majority of the things I'm technically doing with her in just the basis of this relationship is virtually what I could have done with somebody without that actual title being there.
Okay,
Majority of those things. The only thing that's different is that part where I'm trying to have significant conversations that are based off of me deciding if marriage is an option for her. Outside that, I'm not seeing the benefit that we're talking about that's different from if I just did this with any other woman.
Okay, so you're just gonna skip the relationship part. And so for
no, I
marriage,
literally said based off the relationship.
Marriage. Okay, so marriage. If
I already said. I said in marriage, the legal part of it is beneficial.
That's it.
That's the main benefit.
Okay.
If we're literally using this word as by definition, that is the main benefit, the legal part of it.
Okay.
Like, so I'm not a lot of shit that literally can be beneficial or whatever being y'all labeling as beneficial. If anything, maybe I need to hear from you. What if you just give me just 3 things? You don't have to give me like a whole fucking list. Like, give me 3 things that you feel a woman can do that is beneficial to the man before marriage.
So no, I was trying to get it from a guy point first, just because this is more.
And you just got mine. So now I'm asking you, give me 3 things.
Okay, so you can answer that question. So now I'm gonna ask another man.
Oh my God.
Then I'm gonna come back. Yeah, no, none of y'all got nothing? Nothing.
What was the question?
It's at the bottom.
Hey, what happened?
No, we was talking about from a woman being, what is this? So
Javon playing dodgeball and I missed. That's what.
What benefits you get from a woman in a relationship, Scam? What she was asking.
The actual relationship.
That's an umbrella statement. Like, nothing was there in that.
The relationship. You asked her for a relationship. I want to be with you. And she says yes. Now you're with her.
That's a benefit?
Yes.
You got all right. Here's a benefit. All right.
Otherwise, what would do this?
I mean, benefits look different for everybody, though.
Hold on, Sadi. Not to cut you off. I want to hear from the men first, like, because
the benefits of being in a relationship. Got you. So, was somebody trying to say something?
Prior to marriage.
Mel, I thought Mel was trying to go. I guess he was trying to get down. What you were saying? I ain't go yet. Go ahead, Stra. You go. I ain't go yet.
So, Stra, it's more so what is that man benefiting from that woman in that relationship? That's
got you. You got companionship. You got partnership. You have an equal to your opposite. I think that women provide a level of support that you can't really get from your male counterparts. Their loyalty and their aid, and I think women convenience and enhance the lives of the men they're with. You get loyalty from a good partner. You get a different perspective on your homeboys for your life. Like, I can just keep rattling off shit, but I think you get my point.
I agree too. So that's what confused. Like, I was like Scam. Like, I think my answer was gonna be closer to Scam, but I was gonna be like purposely trying to break it down in different ways. But like, benefits of the relationship is the relationship in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like it correlates.
And I figured she wanted maybe a list. That's why I did that. But yeah, I kind of agree with Scam. Like, you get the relation, like that is the benefit.
So we like, do men even want to be in a relationship or just the benefits? I think the just part is what we you know what I'm saying, because that's vice versa. That's a benefit, and I think that's what CJ more leaning towards too. To retort, I don't know. Stop me when I'm wrong, CJ. But like, if I'm giving, if I'm getting this from her, that means I'm giving it. So is it a benefit or is it equal exchange?
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Now let's frame it right, Bino, because we know.
Yeah, because I think the question makes us like, you know,
and I do apologize, y'all, because these ain't my framing of questions, but I'm gonna see if I can understand what is being implied here. Is it safe to assume that women believe that men only benefit sexually from relationships? Is that safe to assume?
No, so this question was not geared to about sex. So pretty much everything y'all said, a man wants but don't want to give her that title. We are officially a couple, but they want the loyalty, they want the companionship, they want all of that. But at the same time, you ain't my girl. We just chilling, we just vibing. But they want everything that comes along with a actual relationship, but don't want to actually give her that title.
Oh, so it goes back to the title question.
Yeah, so he want his cake and eat it too.
Yeah, because that's what a relationship is. So you giving her that title. We are a couple, but you want everything that comes along with it, but don't want to give her that actual relationship.
Right. So when it comes to that benefit, it's just like exclusive vagina.
Yeah.
Because without all the other stuff that he don't want to give back, that he want exclusive vagina.
Yeah. It goes back to sex, but I think even deeper than that, Bino, if we want to keep it all the way tall, you what is in front of him. You're not what he wants.
So basically, he just still want to keep his options open.
Yeah, he want to have sex with you, but he not
sound like a
really
placeholder.
Exclusive vagina.
Yeah, that's the honest answer.
Do you think it could be also not with like the majority though, but like some men having a fair commitment?
No, because I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe that, Saudi. Because a man can string quote unquote one woman along and literally be mad in 3 months. So it can't be that. We know what we want.
That's true.
We know exactly what we want.
I'm just asking the question.
Oh no, you cool. That's why, like I said, I like it because we gonna give you the honest answer to it. Y'all got any more coming to Jesus questions? Because we here to keep it tall. Y'all got.
Hey, man, like I said, I ain't heard shit yet.
No, like I said,
So no, but if you're gonna look at it, that way, CJ, you're not gonna hear anything. So
it's not.
When you said the relationship,
you literally what y'all literally named. What was literally named?
So Scam, when you said that the relationship, I understood what you said as far as the relationship, but how Strider broke it down and actually like named listed some stuff or what to the question I was asking for. But then CJ, you just said pretty much nothing. Like
I didn't say nothing.
You made it seem like you're not
asked like what was the
anything.
benefit, because what he named, what Strata, everything that Strata named, I know for a fact I can get from close friends, from close female encounters. And as far as the sex, to me, if y'all haven't learned by now about CJ, though I enjoy sex like any other man, there's no fucking way I'm gonna be with any woman just off of sex. If your brain's not intact, I don't give a fuck who y'all are. That's literally, if you haven't caught on to that by now. So when y'all talk about exclusive sex, that shit don't even compute to me. I automatically assume if we're in a relationship, that should be a thing because I don't cheat anyway. So if I'm in a relationship, that part should be just there. No, it just should be there. So I don't think about, I get exclusive sex from this woman because we're in a relationship. That part, I don't think about that. It's like grandfather in the fucking agreement. That part, it should be already there. So it's all these other things y'all naming. I'm thinking like, well, the majority of these things I literally get to this day, and I'm not in a relationship with nobody.
All right, so I got a question for you, CJ. What makes you make the decision to go from being single to getting a girlfriend? What motivates your decision?
Like I said earlier, I said if I'm getting in a relationship with someone, it's because I had during that talking phase, I talked to them. I said, all right, there's a part of them that makes me feel like they have potential for the marriage. That's why I said if there's something as far as marriage, then there's a form of benefit. But the benefit ain't even there yet. My mindset is, okay, you have the potential. Okay. But the benefit, that's why I kept asking. You see what I'm saying? It's still a process in my brain. Yeah, we're in a relationship, but I don't. This part where y'all saying benefit, I only see it. That's just me. I however y'all view it is how y'all view it. When I think of benefit, I'm thinking like, all these perks that you get legally because you're married. But as far as all these other things like companionship and these are things I literally get without even the relationship from women.
Okay, but
that's the part that throws me off. Maybe because my lifestyle is different. I don't know. But when I'm hearing it, I'm like, I hear what y'all saying. But just off this word y'all trying to push, the benefit. I only hear this in terms of marriage.
My nigga. We want to talk about the majority of men.
Right. Okay, we're not talking about the majority of men. She asked me a question. She asked me about the benefit.
But see how you separated it though. You separated. I asked you for a relationship. You went from your friends to relationship when it came to sex. When I asked about the benefits, you referred back to your friends or whoever else that you kick it with, but you turned the
No.
sex thing
I
on
said
sex.
all things. I literally said all things. Right now, I am single. Right now, there's list. Not trying to talk a whoremonger or anything, but there's a list of women I know that if I was to hit them up on some, let's just mess around, it's going to happen. These same women, without having the whole sex part, I know they are loyal to me when I need help with something, even though I don't really ask for shit. They just volunteer help and support. That's just who they are. If I just want to have a person to just have a conversation with to get another perspective on something, they literally do that. If I decide today I want to, I don't know, get a third fucking home that I'm trying to build up to make it be a landlord for another fucking mobile home, I know women right now that I can contact to help me with that process. That's what I'm saying. And mind you, I'm not in a relationship with them. I'm not married to them. You see what I'm saying? So when you're telling me that, the benefits, my first thought is, well, the benefit is I only think about the legal shit as far as marriage.
So
all these other
it's
things,
the
just
females
things
that
that
you're
they just
engaged
do.
with, not your friends, not your homies, not your partners, women that you're fucking.
Okay, I literally just said that. What the fuck?
No, you just said friends. You said you went
I
from
said,
friends
yeah,
to
and I also said, even if I'm not fucking them, the same shit happens.
But we're talking about people that in a relationship. We're not talking about just like your.
And I said, if I'm in a relationship with a person, oh my God, if I'm in a relationship with a person, it's because I view this person has a potential to be my wife. My list of people I've been in relationships with is very fucking minute. So for me to be in a relationship with someone, it's because at some point during the talking phase, I've talked to them and I've gained an understanding of who this person is. I'm like, all right, there's potential here. But while I was in the relationship with them, I still didn't get no benefits. It wasn't like I got like new perks because I'm in a relationship with them. Everything that I'm doing with them, majority of everything I'm doing with them in that relationship was being done prior to us making that title.
Okay, I got. All right, let me bridge it right here, CJ. Will you admit? Well, could you agree that you make them your girl because all of the friend benefits you want it from this one person that you like? Like, I know I could get it anywhere else, but I want it from you specifically.
No, I literally just said that. I literally just like I don't know what. I don't know if y'all not hearing me. I literally said that the reason why I get in a relationship is because the person, as I'm talking to them on just a friendly level, there's a partner that says, "All right, this person has the mindset that I like. That's potential for marriage."
Got you.
So then once I get into the actual relationship, y'all know me. I'm not cheating. So now, if I'm in a relationship with you, the focus is here now. So now I'm trying to see. All right, let's mind this through and see if we get to that point. You see what I'm saying?
So you leverage
that's how that works.
To get to marriage, and that's a step to marriage.
Like all these females I talk to on a regular basis, none of them like, oh, you know what? She's got potential. She's like, no. Otherwise, I'd be in a fucking domino effect of fucking relationships, right? No.
Got you. Okay.
So he's saying other than the woman potentially he looking at a potentially that could be a wife. He not been in a relationship because he don't see no benefit other than that.
There you go. Yeah. Y'all ladies got any more questions or follow up with CJ?
No.
Yeah, because you know what it is, they already have a biased mindset of what their version of benefits in a relationship is and marriage and all this stuff. And then when they hear another person's perspective, it's like fucking oil and water. It just doesn't mix together in their brain. So they just be like, yeah, let's just agree to disagree. No, I get it.
I mean, like
some people choose to have the conversation to gain understanding of another person's perspective, while other people choose to hear it. It doesn't sound like something I would do or even think about. Yeah, let's disregard.
And that's just what we just did.
Yeah, but we was asking you to speak for the majority, but you wanted to speak for just you.
The question is literally to the men on the platform.
Okay, but CJ, I just ask questions to get your perspective. I'm not saying I disagree with your perspective and your maneuverment of getting to where you get to relationships and stuff like that. I ask more questions to gain more, insight or where you go doing what you do. I'm not saying it's hey, what works for you works for you. Work for somebody else may work for somebody else. Something different.
Yeah. I'll just make it simple. I can add.
Oh, go ahead. Mel.
Go Mel and then Scam. What you got, Mel?
The main thing I can probably add is you understand me. That's pretty much it. Sex is gonna come regardless.
Okay. It's not the sex, it's the understanding. Scam, what you got?
Not saying CJ or anybody on this panel, but Talking Point Mafia or real life, all this stuff. Here's the deal. Men ask for the relationship if they want it. They're asking, and they're asking a particular person. So that's what they want. Whatever comes with it, they asked for it. They talk about marriage and the system and the dad, you get this and you can't get. They ask for marriage if they want it. And if they don't want it, why did they ask for it? Voluntarily, this woman, I want to marry you for the rest of my life. I want to make this exclusive. And there's no attorney sitting here with the benefits. Sorry, you get this here, you get this, and the 30 package, 10% off, and 60 days. If you sign now, you get it.
I get your point.
That's only on YouTube.
I like it. Venus, you want to add something before we go into conclusions? I saw you pop back up here.
Yeah, that kind of confused me about the question because it said, can you show it again?
Yeah, sure.
I had a thought. I was about to read it. Okay. Do men even want to be in a relationship or just the benefits, right? So I was thinking like, maybe this woman like cooks for you, cleans your house, y'all have unprotected sex, like they do relationship like things, but he never gives her a title. Is kind of what I got from this question.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning
Yeah, that's
but
what.
they didn't see it
Brittany
that
was
way.
saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. The answer is yes. That's what people call the talking stage, but then they'll be like, yeah, we were talking for a year. What the fuck? Why are you talking for a year?
That's a long time.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really you're giving him all of the benefits of a relationship without him having to commit to one. And so most likely he's not going to.
Like what the old folks used to say, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? You're getting all the benefits of it, so why buy the cow?
Right. So when we talk about benefits, benefits aren't limited to just legal. Like if you look up benefit, it's just about an advantage or a gain from something. Right. So the benefit in that situation could be I have in-house vagina, like I like to call it. She cooks, she clean. Um, sometimes she give me money. She listens to me when I got problems, and I get all of this. Right. And I get all of these benefits without having to actually commit to her. That's kind of how I see that question.
So when we see it like that and we say, or if I had to be honest with majority men, I think majority men, I ain't gonna even say right. I'm just keep it on the men because we're keeping it on the men. But I think majority of men will take their cake and eat it too, for sure.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I said too earlier. I agree.
I say it's a difference when men are dating up versus dating down because a lot of dudes will date up or down. When they date down, they'll take the cake and eat it too. If they dating up, they'll throw any. You ain't seen windmilling.
Scam for president? Oh, my bad.
When you say dating up,
Scam not letting that go.
When you say dating up, what you mean?
I mean, Angel Reese comes and bumps into me.
So you talking about physical?
Not just physical. I'm just doing it to make it so y'all can make it visual. Angel Reese comes by. I'm windmilling. I'm throwing everything out there. I'll show y'all what slipping is.
Yeah, that's on some fantasy shit, but like in reality, niggas ain't come across Angel Reese's and they still thinking they
you get where I'm going though.
You feel what I'm saying?
You know?
In reality.
Like
on some fantasy shit, yeah. Like, but that fantasy shit ain't really happening. Like niggas is coming across regular women just like they regular, whether you rate them as however they may look to you, and they still will take their cake and eat it too.
Right, but the
up
woman
or
that
down.
you really want, the one that works 2 floors up, that woman they can't stop turning their head, they'll throw it all out there for her.
Yeah, like if I was to think of myself, like what woman that I was, if a woman like I think every woman I like been in a relationship with or situation shit was bad to me, pretty to me, attractive to me, right? When I think of up, only thing I can think of is a rich motherfucker that's gonna still cook for me and goddamn wash my shit and all that other shit. When you say up, that's why I was asking what you mean, like a motherfucker that's rich and do that shit, and you know what I'm saying? Like, cause other than that, ain't no up to me.
I'm just saying it that way so the audience understands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and the same thing go for women. That dude, the NBA or the internet, that dude comes by, all that stuff, that yakking and quacking, they say they don't want no man, they independent, all that shit go out the window.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But Mark Quavion and that other dude, nah, they ain't doing nothing for him. They ain't trying to hear that.
I think when dudes finally say they want a relationship, it's bigger than the woman. I think that's the thing. I think when a dude commits, he finds the woman that fits that purpose that's really bigger than her. So now we talking about family. Now we talking about leadership. Now we talking about legacy. Now we talking about business. Now we talking about that. But it ain't got nothing to do with the woman. His purpose of choosing her was because he felt that he fit that vision he had. That's when dudes want the relationship.
That's fair.
Good cook. I like that. I like that. I like that. Let's take that straight to conclusions. Anybody, everybody, it's a Monday. Let's wrap this thing on up. We had 3 hours almost. What we doing? Put a bow on this.
All right, fellas, we waiting. Put a bow on it for the ladies. What we need to know.
Women's first.
I feel like the proof is in the pudding. Like they've been saying all night. If a nigga wants you, he gonna show you. And 9 out of 10, you ain't gotta read between the lines. And if you do need to read between the lines, just be plain, simple, and direct.
I like that, Saudi. Damn.
Look at Saudi actually listening to us. Okay.
Yeah. The fuck I'm talking about, Saudi. Anybody else? Ladies?
I ain't got shit. I want to hear y'all.
The conclusion is,
hey, Brittany, where's your notepad?
What? Come on, because I'm ready for your ass.
Where's your notepad at? Did you take notes? Did you write down anything?
No, speak up, women, speak up.
I'll say, man, just be transparent. You know, I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna put that word out there. I ain't about to break it down for you. You know, just be transparent.
I got something. This conversation has concluded what I already thought, which is like men will rather break their own arm before they're honest. So women just assume the absolute worst until further notice because they will never be truthful. And I digress.
So we come up here, we be honest about these questions, and that is what we get as a result. I ain't say one lie this whole time.
No, but that was defending. Y'all was defending the gray area. Y'all was defending not being straightforward. Y'all was calling it sugarcoating. Y'all was doing all these mental gymnastics about you should already assume if he didn't, if this, if instead of just saying what the fuck it is. So therefore, y'all are never going to do that. So we just need to assume that y'all ain't shit because y'all ain't shit and move accordingly.
Venus, there's five dudes. There's 5 dudes on the show. Who all did that? There's 5
all of us.
Y'all all the same at this point. I can't really see a difference.
Boom. Birds of a feather, scam. Birds of a feather.
No. I got you. No, she just missed the framing. Venus, we definitely
that's crazy word.
And question 2, what I was telling everybody is that we had to speak to all extremes so that the conversation would be had in totality. Because if we had it from the righteous man perspective, then it'd have been a shorter show. We could have just like, all right, this is what's really going on when a man's intentional. But to give the woman the context, we had to go to, all right, what does a man in his purpose look like? What does a man look like that doesn't have accountability? What does a man look like that actually does the work? So I think that, again, it does seem convoluted, you know, because that was the framing. And I was very concise with everybody when I told, I was like, yo, make sure that fellas were answering this from all levels. Because I think if we wouldn't have done it that way, that would have been dishonest, right? If we just gave y'all the right answer, quote unquote, based on what we do in our real lives, it'd have been like, okay, this is a short ass show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They want to hear they just so.
Oh my God. And so, CJ, they said benefits of the relationship. CJ said benefits. What fucking benefits?
See, that's the thing. That yet again, maybe they just don't like what they hear. They tell you, they say, hey, be transparent, be honest. But fellas, the moment you do it, they don't like what they hear. They don't believe what they hear. It sounds crazy. You're probably still lying. Y'all could literally be on a lie detector test and answer every question. The shit don't never go up. You ever been on one? I've done 2 of them. If you ever been on them, it don't go up. You straight up honest. You know what she gonna say? Nah, something wrong with the machine. What the fuck?
Oh, keep.
So at the end of the day,
They'll
it
turn
don't
to you.
matter, fellas. What I say in the beginning of this
It
shit.
don't.
It don't
It don't
matter
matter.
if you sugarcoat it. It don't matter if you try to be honest but be respectful, as somebody said, or you just be flat out an asshole. It don't matter. It don't
Not at
matter.
all.
CJ, I believe you. It's just disappointing that you were like benefits. What benefits? Like
Hey, I told
there
you
is no
where
benefit.
my point of view of benefits really stem into the marriage. That's where I see the benefits.
CJ.
Outside that, majority of the shit that's being done in the relationship literally can be for me. I can't speak for other people. Literally can be for other motherfuckers.
Hey,
Like, I
CJ,
can't
I need
really
to
deal
look.
with other
Hey, CJ, I need
Cap.
to look right here. So this is the thing, right?
Cap.
I think I'm learning how to speak the language of Venus. You gotta listen to Venus closely. When she does this heavy whisper, that lets you know she about to activate the troll. She done did it a few times, but she has a way to where she'll lean into the mic and you can hear it. I ain't even want you to walk down that road. I'll speak Venus.
It's cool. Look, hey,
look,
look. My
yeah.
conclusion is
that
my
right there. There
conclusion
go. Y'all hear
is
it? Y'all hear it? Hold
yeah,
on. What you say,
it's
Venus?
all good. My
What you say,
conclusion is, fellas, who gives a fuck? Be honest. Be brutally honest. If you want to be respectful, that's cool. But be honest. And for people that don't know, because I know a lot of y'all don't, there's a difference between being honest and being transparent. There's a difference. Honesty is me telling you, oh, you know, I went to the boy's house and this, that, and the third. I was just chilling. That's an honest statement. Transparency is while I was there, that one girl that you don't like, my ex, she was there too. If you found that out from somebody else that the ex was at the same party that I went to, you would be blowing up this nigga's brain. You'd be ready to go to war because he didn't tell me that. So at this point, the nigga's a liar. Not because he wasn't honest, because he didn't tell you the whole truth. So it's one thing about being honest, is another thing where you got to tell them the shit that they don't even know. So don't just be honest, fellas. Be transparent as fuck. All right? And whatever happens, happens. If she stays with you throughout your honesty, cool. That means she's actually worth a fuck. But if she chooses to leave, it is what it is. You lost one. There's more. There's more than us. But let's hope that she stays and sticks around.
I like it. I'm gonna give mine real quick because y'all know, you know what I'm saying. I think it's in the mirror. I think the next show on Thursday, y'all gonna see what I mean, but it is truly in the mirror. Like, I promise y'all, no cap, everything that we've done for the last two shows is gonna come back to the mirror. It has to. I just want to throw that in real quick. Anybody else want to go?
I ain't like I said, I'm trying my Denzel Washington Training Day impression. I looked at CJ. Boom.
Check.